What's the big thing that you need if you get like the Shure SMB? It's like there's like that little component that everyone always forgets and they need it when they're streaming. Oh god, it's like the cloud something. I can't remember that.
A cloud Mithi?
I know there's an Elgato that everyone gets.
Oh
right?
God, no.
The cloud Mithi? Oh god, that's gonna be a thing now too.
It's just Mithi's face like amongst clouds.
Amongst a cloud. It's like, have you all seen Eternals?
Nope.
Well, there's a scene in Eternals where somebody's face is really big in the clouds.
They put the Teletubbies baby in Eternals.
Once that comes out in HD, once that comes out in HD, I'm definitely editing that, and I'm calling it Cloud Mithi.
Are we recording? We good?
Yeah.
Yep. Recording.
Yes.
Cool. Hello everybody. Welcome to Fanboy Talk. This is episode 10 of Fanboy Talk. Is it 10? Wait, is it 10?
Yes, it's 10.
It's 10. Cool. Okay.
Do you want me to count right now just to make sure?
I mean, you could. If you just to double check, because it'd be really funny if this was episode 11 and we were just wrong.
Keep us honest.
Okay.
Now this is episode 2. This is only the second episode I've been on.
Yeah. So that's the only real episode.
Yeah. It only counts when Doug and I are on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess. Wait, this is the only. Oh, no, we'll get to that.
It's got to be all of us.
Last time we also talked about a trailer, so we're going to talk about a trailer in this. That's fun.
We only comment on trailers, no full movies.
Yeah.
I
don't even watch movies. I only watch. I only know what happens in movies based on trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like mini movies.
They're just mini movies and mini mates. Mini movies.
This is the 10th episode. I have confirmed.
It is hell yeah. Yes. I'm Troyboy17. I'm joined by my co-host Mithi from Caffeine, as well as Brian McDermott from the YouTube channel Brian McDermott.
Yeah.
And Doug from For Every Kind of Geek. How you guys doing?
Good. I'm great. We're all Spider-Man today.
We're all Spider-Man today.
We are Spider-Man. It's like the Flash meme, but different.
Someone took the right lessons from Spider-Verse, at least for once.
Oh god, could you imagine? That'd be so great if people took the right lessons from Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Lesson being, there's only one Spider-Man, right? There's objectively one Spider-Man.
There's objectively only one, and his name is Miles Morales.
No, his name is me whenever I put on the costume. And that's
I saw a panel. I don't remember what it was from. I think it was a recent book. Because I haven't read it. I just saw it on Twitter. But I saw like...
As most of Spider-Man Twitter will do.
Yeah. And it was like Peter was like getting bullied by this kid because the kid was like, "You're not the real Spider-Man. The real Spider-Man wears black and red." And like, I really like the idea that like in the Marvel universe, people hate Peter Spider-Man, and so Miles is to them like the real Spider-Man. I think that's really funny.
You think Jonah's gonna be like promoting Miles and just trash talking Peter?
No,
that'd be really funny if like Jonah was like one of those liberals. It's like, I love this young person of color. He's working really hard. He's doing these great things. And fuck this guy. Fuck that guy over there, dude.
How many people canonically do you think in the Marvel universe know that Miles' Spider-Man is black? Like, do they mention it in the comics? Do they like?
I know in the ultimate. I know in the ultimate run, and I don't know what they carried over from that because there's a whole bunch of shit with that. But like in the ultimate issues, was one of his first few issues is like he's wearing Peter's suit, and then like he gets stopped by like some people, and they see he's not wearing gloves, and they see he's black, and there's like a whole bunch of like there's a bunch of news articles about it or something. I think I remember reading something like that. So at least in that universe, that's like a known thing, but I have to assume,
that people like eventually come around to learn that too. That's something like that, because I feel like that's important. Because I feel like there's one angle that you can just be like, nah, he's just another kid. But like, if he's
and there's interesting stuff they could do with that. There's a lot of interesting stuff with like, he saves a racist and the racist doesn't know he's black and then finds out and is like an asshole.
That's a cool one-shot comic.
Yeah,
Sony is going to do that in the 4th Spider-Man movie. Yeah. What have you guys been doing this past week? Who wants to get started? Because I have stuff, but someone has more interesting stuff than me. Someone talk, not me.
I didn't do very much, so we can just get me over with. I edited a bunch, because I got a bunch of Spider-Man videos. But I watched Tick Tick Boom. That's like the big thing. Oh, and I watched Seinfeld and Glee, but there's not much else to say about that besides they're the best shows ever made. But I watched Tick Tick Boom, which nobody else here watched, and so I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to have a conversation.
I'm gonna watch it later. I'll watch it later.
For the one moment in my life that I decide to be productive and start editing, you're like,
one
no,
moment
you should watch
you didn't want to watch
instead.
an Andrew Garfield movie. Shaking my head.
I know, I should have. Everyone, so many people like it just came out like 2 days ago, and like everyone on Twitter has seen it already. And like, is it just because it's Andrew Garfield and everyone's in the Spider-Man craze? Is that really it?
I think so, honestly.
Maybe that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's very. I won't talk about it too much. I don't want to spoil and shit. But it's very good. It's very fun. Andrew is a very good singer. That I didn't know that about. He's a very, very talented singer. The music is very good. The writing is very good. I kind of want to see the stage play now because just the story in general is a very interesting concept, and like kind of was like hit like a very personal like, oh shit, wait, is this me kind of vibe, and I'm like, oh fuck. And I really like that. It's like all based on a true story, which is really interesting. And the guy seemed like a really cool dude. But the direction wasn't exactly the best. This is Lin-Manuel's first movie, and you can tell he very much directed the actors like they were Broadway actors. And so in any dialogue scene, you can see like people are like very expressive and like very overt with their actions and stuff. And it's like, okay, I'm not 200 feet away from you, so I don't need this. See, I'm 2 feet away from you.
I don't know how I feel. I probably feel different kind of going in, but I kind of go in almost looking for that, especially if it's a musical, because something that I kind of had a gripe with when I saw In the Heights was that it felt very almost like too cinematic for a musical. It felt kind of flat to me. And,
that makes sense.
Which is funny because I kind of like that a bit about In the Heights. Like I didn't like all of it, but like In the Heights reminded me kind of like a Bollywood musical. Where when you watch a Bollywood musical, not every like it's about being expressive, right? I guess, but if you look at their faces, they're not really being expressive. There's not really a lot of like I guess acting that goes into a lot of those big performances. It is a lot of just choreography on like a big scale, and like In the Heights does that. But I can see where you're coming from of like, yeah, no, sometimes you want them to Broadway it almost, and sometimes just the fact that it's a movie doesn't give
my perspective on that is just like they're adapting this thing from a Broadway show, which is its own medium of storytelling, into film, and I'm just like, if it wants to be its own Broadway show, then just pull a Hamilton and just show a recording of the Broadway show, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Versus like this, it's like the camera's like right up in people's faces, and then they're acting like just because like, and this is not a dig at Broadway actors, it's a requirement. Like you have to act a certain way when people are a mile away from you just to get a performance, you know? And so like when that type of performance is directly translated to somebody who is like directly in front of you, it just doesn't, it feels so much more fake, you know, it doesn't feel as genuine. And like, I think the movie gets a lot better about that as it goes on. The emotions feel more genuine, but like, it wasn't terrible. I mean, Andrew did a very good job. Everybody did a really good job with their performances, but it was just like, at the start, I was like, oh, okay, this is not what I was expecting when I went into this. I was expecting a little bit more like understated performances.
Well, I think there's something. Sorry to cut you off, Troy.
You're good. No, you're
good. I think there's something to be said about it really just falls on the direction that is going on, but on like what is going on within the world of a musical is really important. Like, are we talking like Rocket Man, or are we talking like Hairspray? Where you know what I mean? And I mean I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really comment on it.
It wants to be kind of both. It's like Imagine Rocket Man, but with like everybody kind of acting like a Hairspray.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Which is just like, because I fucking love Rocket Man and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's just a matter of like Lin is used to directing stage shows, and that's how he's used to directing actors and stuff. So it makes sense, you know. And I think the editing doesn't really help, and just like the fact that like the camera and the visuals are not like, it's a good looking movie, it's fine, you know, it's a very standard looking film, you know, but it doesn't like blow me out of the water with it from a direction standpoint. And then with editing, like they do this thing where it's like basically the whole premise is like the guy is performing a stage show, like narrating his life, and then like they go back to like, you know, that's his narration, but instead of like using that as like voiceover and narration, they just keep showing him as he's talking. And I'm at, like at points where it's like you like I don't know how to explain it without showing a specific example and stuff.
Oh yeah, no need to mince words. They should have
No,
just
yeah,
hired me to
is it
edit
like the is it like the thing that everyone is complaining about? I'm
I
sure
haven't
this
seen
movie
any-
is
I
much
haven't-
better than
I've muted the word Andrew, so I don't see any discourse.
Yeah, I don't see anything about it.
Yeah.
Because everyone was complaining about this, and I haven't watched either movie, but Dear Evan Hansen, people were complaining. I'm assuming this movie is much better than Dear Evan Hansen, but
I would assume also. I haven't seen Evan Hansen, but yeah.
I know people were complaining about
Better
a scene
script, that's for fucking sure. It's a better concept.
I know people were complaining about a scene in Dear Evan Hansen where like it's a serious moment, but all the other characters aren't singing, but he's the only one that's reacting in song. So it seems kind of strange, like that pair up.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that scene.
High School
It's not
Musical
like
style.
that. It's really just like imagine if every time Toby did voiceover in Spider-Man, it was instead of a voiceover, it was cutting to a scene of him talking to somebody.
Oh,
It's just like this could very easily be a voiceover. I understand
very
that
Broadway,
I understand that there's like a very serious way to do it. Like I understand there's a real context of why he's talking, but there are times where I'm like, you're cutting away from like the performance to show him talking about the performance in a way. And I'm like, there are other things where he's like, so then I did this and I got ready to go to this place, but it doesn't actually show him getting ready to go to the place.
Yeah, it's
and I'm
almost
just
like
it's like, why would I not be seeing this? This is a movie it's a movie.
it's like they're doing tell
it's-
don't show.
It's kind of thing of
basically.
Broadway where the entire thing in Broadway is kind of a one take, because that's what.
And I think that
Broadway
might
is.
just be. I haven't seen the stage show. Olivia has, and she said it's like very different. That it might be a matter of like maybe the stage show constantly has him off to the side doing the narration, so like your view of the scene, like so like half of the stage is like the flashback, half the stage is the narration stage show stuff. Your view of the scene is like you're looking to one side, and then when he starts talking, you look to the left. But like I don't know how you can transfer that to film in a way that like fits the medium. I think but still a very good movie. The emotions were fucking killer, especially like the last like half was like sucked me in.
Well, I mean that story is so
good. It's really good.
So fascinating. I mean,
it's
like,
so
for the people that don't know, I mean, like it's the guy who made Rent,
like
very popular musical, and it's the story behind it is incredible.
Yeah, and just like the stuff about like it's the opening number basically, but it's like I went into the movie thinking there was a literal bomb inside of him. I thought that's what the premise was. I had no idea what this fucking thing was. Olivia decided to just not tell me. And so like
Such a weird
then
way
he
to
started
go
talking
into
about
this.
like then he started saying like I'm about to turn 30 and that's the end of your life. And I was like, "Oh fuck. Oh, it's like a real thing. Oh no, I'm not ready for this."
But this was the next Christopher Nolan movie.
But no, it's really fucking great, and like just the way it handles like being an artist is very interesting, and I really love that. There are way too many fucking cameos though. Way too many fucking Broadway cameos. It's a little much. I'm like
Does it feel forced?
It feels there's literally a scene in a diner where every other shot is a new Broadway famous cameo person. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, Lynn, I know you have a lot of friends. I know you know a lot of people, but let's tone it down a little bit.
Oh, no, what this is, it's
Because
the multiverse. They're all there
So true.
in the
but it's like-
diner.
It's
Is this
literally
Is this the
Spider-Verse.
Lin-Manuel Miranda David Diggs multiverse? Is that what
So
this
true,
is?
literally.
See, this
But
this
it's
brings
like
up an
they'll-
important question though. Why wasn't Larry David there?
That's a good. If it was Larry David, I would shit myself.
Where else Neil Patrick Harris? Yeah.
How was it? It was like it wasn't like Broadway people that became famous like in other mediums. They're literally just Broadway people.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like
so
if
it's
you're
not like
if you
Idina
don't know them,
Menzel.
no. It's like the biggest people are the two girls from Hamilton.
Right.
Those are the most like recognizable ones. But the camera still like frames them as if they're like Stan Lee, as if it's like it's like oh look how big they are, and I'm just like okay. Cool for like a couple shots, cool for like a couple scenes. And Lynn makes a cameo. Spoilers, and I
Oh,
scream
fuck
and I hate it.
him. I
Why
hate
does he keep
him.
Why does he keep jump scaring us in every?
It
single
literally is a jump scare.
movie?
Literally is a jump scare. But like it was just like this scene of like imagine a scene where every character is a Stan Lee cameo, which would actually be kind of fun. But like every character is a different like thing, and it's like okay, that's fun, but this is also kind of an emotional scene. Just like constant
Because it
cameo.
distracts you, yeah.
And just the way the camera holds on them and the way they look in the scene.
could be potentially the problem with another big movie coming at the end.
Could
of this
be.
year.
Oh, that's another discussion. That's
but-
another. He tried to segue. You tried to
Yeah, I
segue
did.
too
I did.
early.
You're not, yeah, I did. I
You
did.
can't do
I'm not
that.
gonna
You
do
can't
I'm
do
not gonna
that. We're
I'm
not
gonna
ready
do
for that.
You know what I want? I want to re-edit of that scene, but every single cameo is just Lin-Manuel Miranda. So it keeps being. It's a continuous jump scare.
No, it's like
It's
the SNL sketch where it's like all of Jim Carrey's characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I've been watching more SNL sketches over the course of the past.
SNL got kind of good this season.
Is
I
it
hate
good?
to say it.
No.
It's been. I mean, last week, this week, like there were kind of some stinkers, but like for the most part, it actually has been kind of funny this whole season, and I'm very impressed.
didn't hate the Republican sketch.
That was kind of lame. I hated that because it's like there was so much they could have done with it, and they did like the dumbest position.
The basis thing. Is it just because of Please Don't Destroy? I don't want to say it's just because.
I think honestly it might be.
I think it's a lot of it is
them, Pete, and then like just general like they're doing like relatively interesting sketches now that aren't like very and maybe it probably is just Please Don't Destroy.
I mean, it sounds good though, because like we saw kind of the same thing when The Lonely Island was still a regular fixture there. Like, if you have outside perspectives, and honestly, that's why I liked the digital shorts too, just because like when they're not as constrained and they can breathe a little bit, they can make some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I've always been of the position that like live comedy is like inherently worse than obviously if you're in the live audience it's fun.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy is different. But live sketch comedy versus pre-recorded sketch comedy that has like editing and like cinematography and like, you know, just the best performances possible instead of like what they do of just reading cue cards off stage. Like there's a very clear like which would you rather be watching, you know? And I think the new cast members are showing like, hey, this is not the best way to tell jokes all the time.
That also makes me wonder how much of the Please Don't Destroy guys are working on other sketches too. Are they not?
I think they might just be doing their own stuff.
That's what I thought, but it's like I would
but also the new girl. Fuck, I don't remember her name. She's
Sarah
very funny.
Squirm, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, she's very very funny, and I very much like her. Because she's anti-Zionist Jewish queen, and we love her. Yeah, I think that's all I did. Oh, I discovered that my Taco Bell has Diet Baja Blast, so that has been a lifesaver for
what
me.
we call a good
Troy, are you okay? Are you gonna get through
I'm
this?
great. I'm feeling great now.
Baja Blast is what clout is to me, except mine is somehow more poisonous, I think.
Yeah.
But
Troy's Baja doesn't destroy his friendships is the thing.
No.
Exactly.
Baja Blast
together.
Baja Blast is just clout distilled into liquid form.
Yeah.
The feeling you get when you get a 3K tweet about Spider-Man and billionaires, and then you get 100 quote tweets that you're not gonna read.
At least with Troy, when he goes to Taco Bell and pays them for the Baja Blast, he gets the Baja Blast. Whereas with me,
it'd be like you paying full price for
like
Baja Blast and then them throwing it in your face.
It'd be like me saying, I'm gonna give everyone $100 if Toby and Andrew aren't in the trailer, and then them not ending up in the trailer, and then me.
Yeah, where's my money, huh? Where's my fucking money, Mithi?
Where's my money? I have like.
I retweeted that and I liked that and I do follow you. So where's my money, Mithi?
Here's what I have to do. I just have to block everyone. That's all I have to do, right? If I block everyone, then none of them are following.
If I delete my account and start fresh with a whole new identity, I don't have any consequences for my actions.
Exactly.
Guys, look, it's the promise of Mithi giving you $100 fighting the lizard.
Audio listeners, you're not gonna get that joke. I'm not explaining it to you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We gotta get monetized.
It's just a banger joke. It's a banger joke. It's a good joke. A great joke even.
Great joke even.
Brian, at risk of sounding like a massively insane clout tweeter, you should tweet that. It will get a lot of likes. But yeah, no. If you want them,
it's not for me. The life is not for me.
That's the same perspective of like hanging out of when I hang out like on Discord with you guys, and I'm like, wait, we gotta monetize this.
Yeah, it basically is.
We gotta clout monetize this.
Yeah, we do.
You should tweet that. You get so much clout.
Yeah, you would. See?
Bro, that would be so sick if you tweeted that. Oh my god, you get like so many likes. No, it's like those TikToks where it's like where it pulls back from behind the lens, and it's all the shirtless dudes like dancing up to the camera. They're like, haha, nice, after it stops going. It's the same thing. It'd be like, whoa, that tweet, fuck yeah, bro.
Yo,
And then you
fuck
go
yeah,
home
dude.
and then you cry because that's what the
Yeah.
end of the night is like.
Ryan, what have you been watching on TikTok? Because I didn't realize you.
Well, I know because I know exactly what he's been watching because he sent it to me and I love it. It's my favorite thing.
They're all bangers. All of them are
Are they?
certified bangers.
Are they? I'm scared. I'm genuinely at this point. I'm just scared of TikTok, which is why I'm not using it. Because
Yeah,
I
and that's
opened
the-
it and I
TikTok.
don't.
I just get dog videos now and I'm having a blast. I'm having a great time.
That's better.
I have the craziest shit
I know
all
you
over
do.
my
I love
For
it.
You page. It's madness. It's like you took Adderall and everything. It's just you're going crazy, balls to the wall, 100% all the time.
This just makes me more
Follow
curious.
Tweak Season. Tweak Season's great. I'll
Ryan's
shout
on
him
a
out.
whole other level on TikTok. I'm just watching Ben 10 reruns.
Through TikTok.
That's how my week's been going.
through minute-long vertical videos. What is this, Quibi?
No, there is a person who will watch content on TikTok and it will be her reaction. And they're like 3-minute long videos. And she's just
That's too
watching seasons of a show. And it's crazy. Like I was
She's
like,
not
who
also getting
watches
paid
this?
now.
Maybe I gotta do that. Maybe that's the transition I gotta
No,
make
it's like
from these
super
commentary
popular.
videos.
She has like over 500,000 followers. It's
Yeah, because part of it is also you
ridiculous.
just want to watch this show because that's
Yeah.
the people don't realize about React content. So much of it
That's-
is just they just want
That
to
is,
watch.
I think that is why the Spectacular video and the Batman video have done well because it's like there's no way to watch those shows, and so unless you buy the Blu-ray, which you should buy the Blu-ray because then it'll show Sony that you want the show back.
bring
But,
back physical media.
Bring back physical media because when the streaming services go away or raise their prices to $100, then you can still have the media without any without any bullshit. And it's also legal and supports the actual creators. But I think that's why those videos do well because people just want to watch the shows versus like Black Widow. Everybody saw Black Widow already and nobody wants to watch
Or
Black
if they
Widow.
haven't seen Black Widow, they have no intention of watching Black Widow. Again.
I
Which,
did
speaking
not
of
see
movies-
Black Widow, and I have no
Speaking of-
intention of seeing
You
Black
missed out
Widow.
so much. You missed out
Yeah,
on
you missed out on one of the best entries in the entire MCU.
Not watching
dare I
it.
say the entire Disney cinematic universe.
You missed out on easily the third best movie in Phase 4 of the MCU.
It's the real Endgame.
The
It
real
honestly
Endgame.
is.
Roy, that felt like a punch to the gut. You saying that. It's the
Oh,
fourth best.
But like no, but truly speaking of the MCU, this Spider-Man movie will be the first MCU thing I've seen in well over a year. That's
kind of
interesting.
Before we
Yeah.
make the transition, I also want to say this
Well,
is just
because it would be the last thing since Far From Home, then, right? Because it was the first. Or I guess did you watch WandaVision?
I watched WandaVision. That was the last
Okay.
thing yeah.
All right.
You
doesn't
don't.
count.
You basically discounting WandaVision. You basically just go from Spider-Man movie to Spider-Man movie, which
Honestly,
know
gonna
if
be
that-
real-
I-
gonna be
I was
real,
just
that's
burned.
kind of what the MCU should be. The fact that Spider-Man is not like the core of it is really weird to me.
is kind of
Well, that's what they
The fact
want to
that-
do. That's what that article's about. Kathleen Kennedy
like-
is like,
like-
we'll do anything to get money out of
they
you,
do it
Tom
in
Holland.
weird ways. They do it in like forcing him into things that they're already doing,
That
as opposed to like just making Spider-Man be Spider-Man and happen across Thanos or something.
Yeah, I
Which-
mean, like
that's-
literally, Tom Holland's eyes are like sunken into his head.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
just like, I just need a break. If I'm playing Spider-Man when I'm 30, it's a mistake. And they're like, more money, Tom Holland, more movies, Uncharted 2, and he just can't. He can't get away from
I
it.
think they're gonna make an Uncharted 2 now, aren't they? Yeah,
I'm
Just so they can call it Uncharted 2, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna veer away
Which-
from that depressing line of discussion.
which
Going
before
back
we get
to-
into,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, going back to our talks about like how they can't seem to build like the MCU around Spider-Man. Something that I've noticed is that like New York is obviously a big setting in all of these movies, but it's never really explored in the same way it is in like the Marvel universe proper. Like if you think
Yeah.
about it, it's a city where every corner, every like side street is just packed full of activity. And you could do a million things with that, like street level things. You could have one episode where Spider-Man, or not one episode, one entry, one movie, whatever.
It's
where
all
Spider-Man,
TV show. It's all.
Oh boy. But like you get what I'm
Oh yeah.
getting at, right? Like it's you don't have to make everything like a big earth-shattering event. You could
No.
just like have a million little small fun outings, and it would work because you have a city of superheroes. That
Yeah.
concept could
New
sell
York is a
itself.
very large place, but for some reason, and it's not even just the movies, but a lot of Marvel media in general kind of makes it feel very small
and
that
empty
like
too.
it feels like it's just Manhattan and that's
Mhm.
it. And maybe the games are the reason for that because they only do Manhattan. But like,
I have some opinions about this. I
you
feel,
go, Mr. New Yorker. You
I feel
go.
very strongly about this.
You're welcome, Brian.
So here's the real problem: is that all these movies show the same block radius. It's all like just above Grand Central at 42nd Street, and then the lowest you'll get is like 30th.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's
I don't know
Midtown.
what you're talking about, but
it's
I agree.
Midtown. It's Midtown.
Yeah.
And so what you're getting here is just the same shit. It's the same bland shit that you're gonna see if you come to New York and you're like, you know,
A tourist.
we always say tourist as a negative thing, but thank you for coming. It's great, whatever, sure. But like but truly, it's the same shit that you
He's
see.
under
But
contract.
you're not.
Brian, are you under contract to say that? Thank
Yeah,
you for coming.
I work for the new governor now, and now that
He's got a gun to your head.
no, now that disgraced former governor Andrew Cuomo is not in office. I'm
Andrew
now working
redacted.
for the governor. Yeah. No, but like you don't see Harlem. You're not seeing. Yeah, and which is a great. Well, I mean, you were seeing it in Luke Cage, but that's no longer canon. But like there's
That's why Luke Cage
Harlem.
was good because we got to feel Harlem. Yeah.
It was so good. But like you could have that with Miles. You're not seeing Queens, where really Peter should be, but you know he's also in
like
Manhattan.
Queens
but...
Queens feels and especially in Homecoming, Queens doesn't really feel too much like Queens. It feels kind of just like standard suburb.
No, to
which,
be
like-
honest, Queens is pretty good
Is
in that movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
never
I
mind
thought
then.
it.
Take
I
back
thought it
everything I
was
said.
quite good. Yeah,
Perfect movie.
Yeah, no,
Is
I
it
thought
good
it was
in that
actually a
one
good depiction.
establishing shot?
But it's like they
in
haven't
Civil
really felt
War?
like that since then, and maybe it's just because he hasn't been there.
Yeah, because they've sent him off to fucking Europe.
Yeah.
Like what?
Is it good in that one establishing shot in Civil War? Is that Queens? Is that
But
the
it
one
wasn't
picture
Queens.
of
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Well,
If
here's
it
the
wasn't
thing
even
that's
Queens.
really interesting is that I thought that his old apartment would. I think it is different. Is
Still-
it not
No,
different?
They
it
changed
is
his
just kind of-
apartment. They changed his apartment every fucking movie.
Yeah,
They
but the first
originally-
apartment was good. It was accurate.
Yeah.
And then everything after, I was like, we're getting a little
The first
bit in the
apartment
weeds
is
here.
the first. From my understanding, the first apartment is the first apartment. The one in Homecoming is a different apartment, and in Far From Home, he comes back to the same apartment, I think, and now he's in a totally different place. So at this point, I guess who fucking knows?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean,
I have no idea.
like, there's a lot of interesting, places you can go. I mean, even in like The Punisher, it was only really in Manhattan, which I thought was weird because like you could go so many places, but he's not even really tied down to New York. I mean, and they leave New York in season 2. I mean, we don't talk about season 2, but sure.
I didn't even I didn't even finish season 1. I'm gonna be real. I never watched Punisher.
Oh, really? The
Yeah,
first one's
I-
okay. The first
Yeah,
one's okay.
the Netflix show. Here's my really hot the thing that a lot of people are gonna hate me for. I didn't even finish Daredevil, season 3. I liked it. It's not that I didn't like it. It got to a point where it's like, okay, I had to focus on school and then took 6 weeks off, and I was like, wait, what was happening? And I just never got back to it, and I feel like an idiot.
You
Please
better
finish.
hope that Matt Draper isn't listening to this episode.
I know he doesn't.
Wait
I know
till
he
he
doesn't. I
finds
know
a
you're
lie
not
that we
there.
do.
I know
Put-
you're not there.
Please finish
Wait till
it.
I
Finish
know.
it.
I want to. I want
Finish
to.
it.
wait till people.
Those eyes, those horrible yellow eyes.
It's Matt Draper telling you to finish it.
Wait till people find out how much of Daredevil I've watched. It's not enough at all, and everyone is yelling at me about
You've
it.
at least seen season 1.
I've
Right?
seen the
I'm
first 3
muting
episodes.
Mithi.
What the
I've seen-
fuck?
I've seen just the first 3
Okay,
episodes.
all right.
No, I
Brian,
actually
you
have a
wanna-
very fun Daredevil story. I don't know how, but like when I was in college, my friend and I decided we wanted to binge the whole thing. So we just clicked play. And for whatever reason, the Netflix queue started in reverse order. So we saw the finale first.
Oh,
And I loved going into it because it almost worked as like a cold open where Daredevil was like pre-existing, and he'd come back after being beaten by the
That's
Kingpin.
kind
And I'm
of
like,
cool, actually.
this is amazing. And then we realized that we'd started in the wrong order, and then we went back, and it's like, oh yeah, it kind of just isn't the same now.
That's actually very fun.
An interesting way to look at that, actually.
Yeah.
More
Basically, to summarize
media
our whole
should
points
start
about
like
New
that.
York is that everything should be taking place on Staten Island. Every single story, every single one.
And Pete,
It's
Pete
just a
Davidson is
bunch
like
of
the
He should
kingpin
play
of
every
Staten-
character.
Pete Davidson is like the kingpin of Staten Island, right?
He's, well, would you say he's the king of Staten
The
Island?
king. That's why I said kingpin.
Oh,
Good
Yeah,
joke.
he's the same.
Good joke, everyone.
I-
Good joke, Evan.
Everyone
Thank
laugh.
you.
Everyone go home.
Ha 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 ha. There you go.
I wonder if maybe it's a budget thing though with the New York stuff, or like a time thing of like maybe they only have a certain block radius that they're like
No,
able to
I-
film.
no, no,
Well,
no,
It's
no,
because
no.
they film
maybe
in
in their-
Atlanta. I think that's
Oh,
why.
that
It's
too,
because
yeah.
they film in Atlanta. That's probably
Oh yeah,
why.
they'll do it.
But like
Another
where,
thing that
but
I'm
where they're
thinking
filming.
of-
Ooh, sorry, go Doug.
I was gonna say another thing that I'm thinking of is maybe it's just like landmarks, because I mean they want to make these movies appeal to as broad an audience as possible, so they want places that look New York, air quotes. So they probably pick, a shot of him swinging around the Empire State Building. They probably get a shot of the Flatiron Building. They get something in Central Park, and you get some of the trains. And I think that's maybe the philosophy that they go off of, because
Yeah.
anybody can look at that and go, oh, New York.
That's true. I think also part of it is like the fact that like ever since Age of Ultron, the Avengers like area hasn't been in New York.
Yeah.
So you don't even get those like big over like those big shots.
It's
that,
upstate
like-
where the billionaires live.
Yeah,
Exactly.
literally.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
and
know.
so-
Like,
yeah. It's just a warehouse too. It's like it's not even like visually interesting.
I
They should have just made
really.
it the Avengers house, right? Like that's what I feel like that would have been cool if they made it like the Avengers mansion. quote, unquote.
Avengers Mansion is in
But-
Central Park, which is really
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I-
by the way,
I
the
don't
thing is
know.
going to end in a 1:45. Just keep recording, and then I'll make a new Zoom. I guess.
All right.
Oh shit! Yeah. that's right.
Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't want to
I
pay
don't
for
know.
Zoom. I'm not paying for it.
I just saw
Fuck
that,
Zoom.
so I was like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom
But-
bad.
I don't like. Here's the thing. Like, I know we're gonna get into this fucking discussion, but the Raimi movies really felt
Mhm.
like they were in New York,
Yeah.
and I like because there's just so many things I look back on that, and I'm like, oh, I remember that growing up. I remember, cause like maybe that's not even there anymore. I pass so many of those fucking places on like literally a daily basis, and it's just cool. Like, and then it's cool to see it, and there's so many parts of New York that they double as parts where they really aren't, which is kind of an interesting little thing that happens. But even in The Amazing Spider-Man, I really have to say Queens was accurately represented there too. I mean, he's in that suburban sort of part of Queens. There is that part where it's a lot more condensed houses. I mean, and theoretically that's what Peter Parker's house looks like. I mean, look at the 1990 show, like the cartoon. I mean, he's like in a suburb there. I think I don't know, like, but and then he goes into the city. I don't know. It's kind of this interesting little aspect of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think also part of it is the Raimi movies constantly cut to like people. Like
Yeah.
we see,
people.
I don't know if you watched my Raimi commentary yet, but like we see every weird New Yorker and what they think about Spider-Man, and it's like every like yeah, and like the musician on the
favorite
street
one.
we see about like the goth girl and the fucking he stinks, I don't like him. Hello everybody. Sorry, Doug had some technical difficulties and Zoom kicked us out of the meeting. So yeah, sorry about that. Doug had to leave. But go check out Doug on For Every Kind of Geek at youtube.com. Anyway, back to the podcast.
That's good.
They've started releasing figures or showing promo images for figures for Gotham Knights, that game that I always forget about, and
We
they
all
actually
forget
look
about
kind
it.
of rad.
That's cool.
Night.
Are they just like the
multiverse.
standard default designs? Because I know there's like gear and stuff in that.
No, it's
that
the
game.
standard defaults.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
this is
I'm sure
under-
Todd is gonna get his money's worth out of those upgradable elements. Todd is
course.
just insane like that.
Yeah.
I don't see it on their Twitter. Where is it?
Oh, that was on Instagram. I mean, you can just look it up on
Ah.
DC Multiverse or Todd McFarlane. He's always posting that
Oh,
shit
yeah,
because
yeah,
he's
yeah.
Papa Todd.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean they look pretty good. I'm not excited for that game really. I mean,
Yeah, that game gives me a lot of weird vibes. It gives me very much like a modern Assassin's Creed mixed with like not fully Avengers vibes because I know it's not a live service, but like kind of like it's like trying to be an RPG when it should just be an action game.
yeah, I just kind of wish it was in the same style as the Arkham series, like the
Yeah.
way that they like. I get it, like I understand wanting to do co-op, like sure. I just
No, the
don't
co-op
know.
seems cool. I think like the combat doesn't need to be like watching numbers go up. That's really it for me.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
it like what they're do like the Arkham system is just it is perfection. Just don't fuck with it. Like I don't want to like see the health bars. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
like
I hate
it's literally just to justify the gear, and so like, and I don't like who knows, maybe the gameplay loop will be better, but
Yeah.
like it gives me like it feels like the gameplay loop is going to be, oh, you get to a boss that's too hard, go grind, get better gear, and then come back and then just watch the numbers go down.
Yeah.
You know, because that's how
I
the
don't
Assassin's
know.
Creed games are.
I'm just a big fan of like that linear storytelling.
Yeah.
As like I got older, I don't know. I would have been like so hyped for this game.
Yeah.
When I was younger, but like now I'm just like I have no time. I can't be.
Yeah.
I can't.
It feels
be
like there's going to be a lot of
upgrading
time
stuff.
sync stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
can't
it's
do
like
it.
like that's why I couldn't get into The Witcher because it's just like so much of that game. It's an RPG, so I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it's like compare. Like, maybe I'm just spoiled from Skyrim, but Skyrim is like the most
You
like
can get it
linear
quick.
RPG I've ever played. Like you just
Yeah,
start, you start playing, and then if you customize yourself, you god yourself out with your numbers and shit. You level up, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like there's really only a couple numbers to pay attention to, you
Mm.
know. And then if you want to mod it to just fucking not care, then you just fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just video games in general, I think are in a weird place. I mean, just look at these companies and everything that's happening with Activision and Blizzard. I mean, fuck them. Fuck Activision and Blizzard. But
yes.
like it's just I don't think that they know what people want and they're not
No.
innovating in the way that people want them to innovate. And I think that's a
Yeah.
really like it's just tone deaf. Like you think like we've gotten to this point and it goes with everything too, where whether it's movies, TV shows, or games or whatever, it like they think that we're so addicted to the content that it doesn't matter what they put out.
Yeah.
And it's resulted in and like that's why like it's good not to pre-order stuff because it's not guaranteeing them any money.
Yeah.
And like
Exactly.
so it's like they have to earn your money, which is how it should be. Like if I'm paying $70 for a game, which is absurd.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
I mean $60 is absurd, but I like but 70?
Yeah, and now
And
like
then it
so many-
takes
at least,
18
like-
hours to upload.
Yeah, literally. And then like the thing that really fucks me over is like the PlayStation doesn't have refunds with their digital stuff. Like I
Yeah.
know Steam will do a thing where it's like you play less than 2 hours, you know, you can just get a refund and that's it. You know, so like still the companies are held like accountable. But like with PlayStation, it's like if I don't like the Bridge of Cana game, which I think I would like, but I like don't really want to spend the money on it right now. If I don't like it, if I play 30 minutes of it, I'm like, this isn't for me. It's just gonna sit there forever, and like I'm just never gonna play it, and I just basically wasted my money. And like at the very least with like physical games, you can like go and maybe trade it in or something.
Well, that's
But-
basically just a demo at that point. So they
Yeah,
should.
there's not enough
have a way
demos
to
of
do
games.
that.
There's
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's really kind of like trailers. Like I don't know why they don't just I mean, literally I was just saying how fuck Activision Blizzard for overworking and doing everything else under the sun to be terrible
Yeah.
to their employees. However, but like putting aside like a team of people to work on a demo like that acts
Yeah.
as a trailer.
I mean,
You know, like-
I mean, it depends on like how they want to show off the demo because it's like
That's true. You don't want to
some demos are like, okay, you just get 30 minutes in the game and you're done. But some games are kind of slow burns, you know. So it's
Mhm.
like they're gonna want you to throw you like But it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know too much about game development and stuff, but like, it seems feasible, you know. And I think really what really should be happening is the companies like Sony, who own all these dev studios, they should be funding a portion of the development money to just making a demo, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the best demo in the world, but just something to show off what the game is. you know?
Yeah.
And then a refund policy. Like that's really what it is. Just a refund.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the other thing is that, I mean, growing up, a lot of it, like, we were on the cusp of digital media really kind of taking over. Like, I remember everyone like going to GameStop and like all these types of stores to go actually, I mean, like that, like total hellhole, like to go get games. And like even then you could like play the game sometimes, like if they were new enough and popular enough, like at the place they had like stations for you to play. And but like you don't get that anymore because it's this downloadable digital media. And then again, the game is going to go away at some point, and then it becomes incredibly expensive on the physical side. So tying it back to the physical media, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's important, but that's how they get you. And so like NFTs.
And like my perspective, and like there's a whole thing with like Nintendo right now with like they're charging $50 a year, basically. I think $50 a year to emulate some of their N64 games.
Yep,
you know, not even all of them.
The
some
Nintendo
of them.
Live Service thing.
Yeah,
right? Which
and
is like,
and the emulation is terrible. The emulation apparently is like there's like a second long delay from input to actually registering the command, and it's like the games are basically unplayable, like Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
and it's like I've always been of the opinion, like, you know, I like obviously you want to support creators and stuff, but it's like if a company is not making something easily accessible, then I think as a consumer and as a consumer of the art, it is kind of well within somebody's right to emulate and do, you know, that kind of thing. You know, like Ultimate Spider-Man. I can't play it on my Mac. I own it on GameCube, but I can't like stream it easily. And so like I have to emulate it. I have to emulate it if I ever want to stream it, you know. Also the stream emulating it makes it runs at 1080-60, which is rad.
Yeah.
James Miller made a video a while ago that I watched that was really good about like how kind of there used to be even a charm behind just, you know, you receive a physical copy, you put it in, you download it, everything works now. But like now when you just want to play fucking COD, it's like an update that takes like forever.
Yeah, I had to re-download Spider-Man for a second just to like, because the PS4 version you have to like upload your saves through them to download it onto the PS5 version. And I wanted to transfer my like New Game Plus stuff because I only transferred my main story stuff. And it took like an hour because I just had to download it, and the PS5 is very quick with downloads, but it just like updates and everything. It's like it was a lot, you know. Kind of sucked.
It's like that's just been slowly detracting, and I don't know how much of it is us viewing the past with rose-tinted glasses, but there's some valid concerns.
I think there's a middle ground with it, you know. And there's like a place for both. And I like digital. I do like having games digitally. I think it is nice, you know, having both Spider-Man PS4 and Miles like digitally has made it so I can just literally hop into it, start swinging in 10 seconds. You know, not even 10 seconds because of the PS5 stuff.
It's nice when you're moving.
Yeah, that's
when you're moving and you're not hauling around boxes of shit.
Although I do. I'm a fucking loser asshole, and I still have the boxes from the games that I only have digitally.
Oh no! Like I have a whole thing. I have bookcases and everything in my apartment. I'm a steelbook
obsessed. I'm a fucking loser with steelbooks.
I don't know. I never got behind the steelbooks. I don't know.
They're so pretty. They're so nice.
But how do you display them? Because they don't have the same thing on the spine. The spine is like I always like the classic.
Well, that's why you put them out. You take them out and you put them like on a fucking shelf.
Yeah. Well, no, I have them on the shelf.
It's because I mean, some of them are lame, but some of them are like legit art pieces.
Yeah. Interesting. Is Doug coming back?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I hope so. But
I mean, we can get started without him, and then we've been talking. I'll probably put this in the podcast. Fuck it.
Go ahead.
You were all on record when he said that. Ha ha.
Oh my god.
No.
Our mics are hot.
We're exposed. We were exposed.
Red hot.
Red hot. Red hood.
Also, one question I wanted to ask. So I was talking with my sister about movies, right? And I told my sister to watch Dune, and she and my mom and dad watched Dune like a few nights ago. And my sister really, really liked it. Like she really liked it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because she's smarter than me. She got a much better SAT score than I did. She's smarter than me.
We all know the SAT grades for media literacy.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm all about that ACT game.
ACT was oh my god, the ACT
I
was
took both.
So much fucking better. Although I
took
guess
both.
they changed.
They
Wait,
changed.
Mithy, when
Okay,
you took
here's what it is.
when you took the
Here's what
SAT,
happened.
did they change? Did they get rid of the stupid rule?
I was there
I
right
was
during the change.
no, I was on the
I was also
You
on
were-
the cusp of it.
You were on.
Yeah.
You were
I
on the
fucking
cusp
hated
of it,
that.
and then I
it's
got
so
it. I actually
stupid.
You fucking
got it.
Fuck
asshole.
you.
So
Fuck
it's
you.
stupid.
You know what's funny? I did practice tests that were the old SAT, and I'm like, oh my god, this shit is horrible. It was terrible. But no, I took both, and the new SAT is easier than the ACT.
Really, that makes
Like, straight
sense.
up, yeah.
Yeah, because like the SAT as a test, minus the stupid shit about if you get it wrong, they take points away, so they
That's the
don't
stupid
want you.
part,
Yeah, that was the dumbest part. Minus
Because
that,
they wanna
like,
see
it
more
was a
low
relatively
scores.
okay test. You know?
I forgot
The-
about that. That's so
That's
bullshit.
that's what I hated. Yeah,
I
it was
know.
literally
reason
like
for that
it was the
was so that-
antithesis of test taking in general.
The problem was because I think the reasoning behind that is they wanted to see more people get, I think, low scores so that you could use that more as a qualifying thing.
I guess so.
Because like if too many
You just
people
wanna
got
see
too many
people
questions
cry.
right,
I think
Exactly.
also part of it is like if you're trying to gauge like a general understanding of a subject or something, and like let's say 25% of people's answers are going to be guesses, and then 25% of those are going to be right. Like that's still like 12% or however. Wait, like 5% is like a pretty big margin for error. Then with that
yeah.
of like actually getting a, but also at the same time it's like that encourages people to like only do shit that's
Do, like-
safe and only, you know, it's like ideally
It's a
like,
weird
you know,
metric, and it's like
it's a very
ideally
weird
you just
metric.
and I think what they realized with SAT, and that's why ACT became so much more popular too, where it's like these colleges at the end of the day are looking
They
at
don't give a shit.
more on your
They're
resume
looking at your
than
essay,
just-
they're looking at your grades, they're looking at your
and for like the fucking and for the
uh,
top tier
yeah.
colleges of like Harvard and Stanford, they're like, okay, you got
they're
above
looking
like
at how much money you
33,
make. That's the
cool.
real thing.
Yeah,
They're looking at who your
also
parents
That's
are.
the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. But like if they're looking on scale, they're like, okay, do you have above like a 32, 33? All right, what else do you got?
Yeah.
You know, like that's what it is for a lot of people.
Yeah, like my
But-
sister had like a crazy good SAT score, and I had like an okay SAT and okay ACT, and like
Yeah.
I got into schools she didn't get into because just my grades were better and my essay was better.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a multitude of factors now. It's not just one thing.
This is
But-
taking me back a long time ago, by the way. I forgot
Yeah.
what it was like to
I
apply
am
for
giving you
colleges.
guys
This is
a
well.
rundown.
This is well over.
Shout out to my sister for
a number of
making
years.
us-
A number
a
of
number
years.
of
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
We don't want to say what number. We're not saying what
But-
number, but
That's
But-
private information.
Yeah. But yeah, my sister watched Dune.
so
and she
guys,
really,
I'm 19. I'm a teenager. Hee hee. Spider-Man.
damn.
I'm
Spider-Man.
so young and fresh. I'm Tom
we, are
Holland.
inter-
I'm Tom
we
Holland.
do
Hey, Mr. Cirque.
we do interact with people who are like that.
I know,
but
it's terrifying. I
I
saw a
do.
tweet that was like, "There's a threat constantly of seeing a 14-year-old's opinion all the time," and I hate that.
yeah,
At any
yeah.
moment, you could
And
see
you don't know.
what some
And you
14-year-old
don't
thinks,
know.
and I'm like,
You will
"Oh
never know.
boy."
Well, Mithi,
took-
Mithi, like I've asked you like the ages of,
Yeah.
of some people and everything, and I like, and that's made me uncomfortable. Like
Mhm.
they're like when you realize that, like
Yeah.
like how many people are like pretty young? Because I always
Yeah.
think about it from like the perspective of like people like around Troy and I's age, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm like
I
I don't know,
assume everybody's
everyone
at
knew-
least. I assume everybody's at most like 19 or at least 18. You know,
yeah, at
Yeah.
least
like that's
at
my
least
guess.
20. I don't know why, but I always
Yeah.
assume like at least you're.
But then I'm
you're in
like,
their
but then I hear people
20s,
talking about their
but-
trig homework, and I'm like, wait, what?
You're taking
I'm like,
trade
wait,
still?
what?
Nerd.
Bro, I hear homework. I hear people
Yeah.
have homework, and I go,
Ye-
Yeah. And like colleges give homework and stuff. I get, but it's like it's a different type of like
my brain isn't in that.
college
realm
homework is like it's like assignments, you know. It's like oh
Yeah.
shit, I actually have to do it and like actually do it well, so I have to focus on it. Whereas like high school homework is like you just have to do it. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Especially now
just-
internationally. I mean, for international students, like college and university, like high school and college are kind of mixed, and university
Yeah.
and college are kind of a different thing. So when they were like,
Different
"Oh yeah,
cultures.
I'm in college,"
Whoa, that's crazy. Can you
Yeah.
believe it?
It's like I know it's weird, but like when people tell you, "Oh yeah, I go to college," and they're like, "No, oh no, I'm 17," and I'm like,
Yeah.
or like I'm 16. It's like, I mean, you know, I was smart, but that's different. You know, it's hard to gauge that. I think for me, I'm a little bit more okay with it because I'm still not 20 yet, but I'm getting close to 20. And then once I get 20, I'm gonna have a fucking mind blast realization that everyone has when they're 30 instead.
It's called a
but-
brain blast.
Brain
Brain
blast,
blast.
Jimmy
You
Neutron.
youngin, you
You
youngin.
fucking young. Did you wait, Mithi? Was Jimmy Neutron in your like? Were you watching that as a youngin?
Yeah, not really.
You
It was
missed
a bit-
out.
It was
You
there. It
missed
was
out,
there.
motherfucker.
No.
That
It was
hurts
there.
so
I just
bad.
didn't. It was
really
there. I
does
just
hurt.
barely
It
ever
hurts.
watched it. Okay, I'm sorry. I watched a bit of Ben 10, What did I watch?
Oh,
I watched
A bit of Ben 10.
no.
Wait, you weren't even a Ben 10 guy?
I know a lot of my friends were Ben 10 guys. I just wasn't as much of a Ben 10 guy.
that hurt. Because Ben 10 was on
I'm
for a
sorry.
long time.
Is this just the
Oh, no.
podcast where I ruin your guys' childhood?
Oh
But-
God. I need to leave. Am I allowed to
boy.
be on this call?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
actually.
listen. I was just listen. What did I watch as a kid? I watched the Batman show. I watched Spectacular Spider-Man. What other like actual shows did I watch?
I didn't watch Spectacular Spider-Man like legit until like
I didn't watch
I
it
didn't
till
like watch it
afterwards,
until
I
like
gotta
high
be
school
honest.
when it was like doing reruns on Disney XD or
Really?
something. Like
Yeah,
on the
watched
I was the '90s show guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that.
So many people were the '90s show people, and I'm like, I never heard of the '90s show until I went to that theme
Never
park.
even heard of it?
I never.
You didn't see the
Oh,
DVDs and
no.
you didn't even
I
go to
went-
Costco and see the DVDs of Spider-Man
no, I
versus
didn't.
Doc
No,
Ock.
because
Those were
Spider-Man
sick.
versus
first
Those,
time.
Those are
yeah,
fucking
Spider-Man
coolest.
versus Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite fucking one.
You boomers. I can't-
Is this the Gen Z versus
Gen Z
millennial
versus
fight?
millennials,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm
But,
not even a millennial. I
no,
don't even know what I am. I'm like the one.
We're the
between.
weird-
weird.
cusp.
We're
Yeah.
on the weird in between.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
We're like Mithi, we're like
I don't-
4 years apart. We're not even that different.
Yeah, you're not. The age difference isn't fucking crazy.
It's just a matter of like you remember that shows are only on for like 2 to 3 years, and so
Yeah.
it's like when
And then
somebody
it's like it's
misses
a
it
big-
completely, it's like what the fuck? How old am I?
exactly.
Like, did
I
you
think-
watch you? I mean, you probably didn't watch Avatar when it was on either. You didn't even watch
I
Avatar.
didn't watch
at all,
Avatar. I wanted to watch it. I saw my friend watched Avatar, and I was like, "What the fuck is this show? I only know the blue people." And then I never paid attention to it, and then it came on Netflix, and everyone's like, "Watch Avatar,
That's
watch
crazy.
Avatar." I'm
That's
like,
that's the
"Fine."
one that's actually like legit crazy to me. Of just like everybody I know that is like
Yeah.
within my age range grew up with that fucking show.
I remember
And
coming
so,
home
like-
from a vacation, and I was really anxious that we wouldn't get home in time because
Yeah.
that show was gonna air, and it was the first episode. Because everyone was so hyped before it even dropped.
Yeah.
Everyone
Which
was
how?
hyped. That's how
And
you
that was like
know.
would
before.
never
That was like
happen today.
before like Twitter and shit too. Like I guess.
Oh
Twitter
yeah,
now.
that
I mean,
would
I was,
never
I mean, I
happen
was
today.
like, I was
The
young,
craziest
young.
thing.
Yeah.
The craziest thing is that would never happen today. Imagine a world in which a show like that gets picked up as the craziest thing in the world. Like that would never happen.
I mean,
today.
no, actually, I'm gonna like some. And I haven't seen it, but like it seems like Squid Game and shit like that, and like
Yeah,
Invincible
those are-
kind of was.
but
There's
those
like
are-
I'm consistently surprised by like. You would think like the big discourse, and granted we're in superhero discourse, so it's totally different. You know, it fucking sucks. But like you'd think that like a lot of the discourse with like the thing that's like popular at the time would be like some stupid shitty like blockbuster like corporate feeling thing. But like as of late, there's been like some legit good stuff in the main in the main discourse.
yeah,
and it's kind of
2000
impressive.
2021 has been a good year for entertainment. I want to say just in general, but
Yeah.
I think with
Granted,
I-
a lot
like,
of them because of streaming services ran by really piece of shit companies and
exactly,
stuff.
yeah,
And, like,
Yeah,
some-
people suffering
just-
for our entertainment.
Yeah, and
That's
and
just-
some of
yeah.
them, and also some of the memes in your discourse are force fed by those companies, and
because they
like,
release those images in HD.
because
so
they
that you
release
can
those
pick them
images
up
in
as
HD
memes.
intentionally to try and make you a meme, so you can circulate the images and get people to start watching the
Cough,
show.
cough, the bridge
Yeah.
scene. That's all.
Cough,
I'm gonna
cough,
say.
the bridge scene. Cough, cough. Basically anything from the Mandalorian.
I forget that show happened.
I know,
The
we all
more
do.
I think, do you think?
I don't
Wait a
know what
second.
you guys are talking about. What? I don't
Do
know
you
what you
think
guys
that-
are talking about at all.
That
Oh, yeah.
had to be released intentionally. They
listen.
like
I don't
deleted
think.
it.
I actually don't
But,
think
like,
so. I think that one was a mistake.
You think it was completely a mistake?
I don't think so. I think if it was released as like a TV spot, but
No.
because it was the Brazilian Twitter trailer, that is what I'm like. What did they expect people to see that? By the way, audio listeners, we're talking about the
lizard in
It's
the-
not
Yeah,
a leak,
yeah.
but in one of the
We're not gonna
trailers,
say
the lizard got
we're not
punched.
gonna say the character's name until we get into our full discussion. Do
Yeah,
we
the
wanna
lizard
do
got
that?
punched by Miles Morales, basically.
Yeah, this is the popular character, the Gizzard.
I don't like that word. I really don't like that word.
No,
It makes
but,
me
like,
uncomfortable.
Here's why I think it's a mistake. No. I mean, sorry. Here's why I think it's legit.
Marketing
Mhm.
ploy. Yeah.
Because you know what is like a country that Disney loves? They love to premiere shit there.
They do?
It's Brazil.
Really?
They
know that.
yeah, a lot of
Mm.
like remember when Andrew was fired because he wouldn't go to Brazil Comic-Con?
That's true.
No, they love
That was
love
Sony.
Brazil.
Oh, Sony, yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, but this is kind of Sony as well.
No,
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But like, here's the thing: is that I think that like some people are gonna be like, "Whoa, what the fuck was that?" And then it instantly became a thing, and they're not taking down the images, and they didn't take down the trailer.
Didn't take down. Yeah,
They didn't take down the trailer. They could just re-upload it. I mean, they probably had it. I'm guessing because listen, the amount of shit that I go through on a daily basis about quality checking things is insane. Like we watch this stuff. I can't stand it. And so for a company like Disney, for a trailer for a movie that's gonna make $1 billion,
that is like an end game level. Like, shut the fuck up about it. Yeah,
yeah.
That's a good point.
They're watching this thing with eagle
But
eyes.
also, on the other side of that, Sony has been fucking terrible with the security.
Yeah,
on this movie.
Sony's pretty bad.
Sony has made a lot of from, and I talked about this in my video. From day one, from the day that Jamie Foxx got cast, he fucked up. He like everybody. It's just, I don't know what he did. He probably he did some monkey's paw, like, oh, I want to be Electro again. But then, like, the monkey's paw curled and is like, oh yeah, and everything's gonna get leaked about this movie and fuck up the whole surprises. Like from day one, releasing that Instagram picture of like, oh, okay, so this is what the discourse is gonna be. This is what it's gonna be like up to this, of everything getting leaked, everything getting fucked up because people just had all these oversights.
What's really funny to me is that so many people, because when you sign those NDAs, what it is promising is that if you don't fuck up, you're gonna get paid. Yeah. And what's hilarious is that Jamie Foxx didn't know what his character was gonna look like. He didn't know what was gonna go on with his character. He didn't step foot on the set for months, and he fucked up on day one. He lost like 250, if not more, grand. Yeah. Boom. Like that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. That just shows. Clout is more important than money.
Exactly. Now you guys
more. That's why all these people are breaking NDAs, because it's like, I gotta get the likes are more important. I can do the vibrator ad and get even more money than
the money.
It's Electro's vibrator ad.
It's Electro's. Oh no!
This is not. Oh yeah.
Speaking of Electro, though, did you guys see that?
Quite
it
shocking.
Looks like it's. We'll talk about the trailer and stuff more, but did you guys see that he has like an arc reactor?
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the Discord.
I saw that today.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, it's like a little arc reactor on his chest.
It's Do you guys see? It's like it's. You know what I want it? Do you know what I want it to be? Do you know what I want it to be? I want it to be Whiplash's suit. I'm into.
It does look like Whiplash's suit.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
And like it's one of those things where it's like it makes sense, you know. But they only but the design came first, and then the story they're trying. I don't fucking know because the movie's not out yet. If the arc reactor is a big thing, I saw a bunch of people be like, oh, it makes sense because he's always going after energy and stuff. He always wants to get more energy and more energy. It makes sense. But they decided first off that they want to have the arc reactor first. And then they came up with a story reason for it. That's how movies are made. That's how things are made, you know? So, I don't know. I don't care at this point. If it is a big deal, it's going to be very funny. If it's treated like a MacGuffin, it's going to be really fucking funny. But
the other thing too is like, if he gets that thing, I still am kind of confused, and maybe we just have to wait for the movie as to why they're all so hell bent on killing him. You know?
Yeah, I talk about that on my video as well. Toby Tom
on Tommy Boy on Tommy Holland.
Oh yeah, why are they hell bent on killing him?
I talk about it on my video. It feels very petty, and if it's just pettiness, that could be kind of funny. Of like, we just hate Spider-Man so much that if a guy even looks like him,
so who knows?
If it's a different version of us, if it's a fucking little child that looks different, I'm still gonna want to kill him.
No, it's not the Sinister Six. It's the Petty Six.
The petty
five.
Wait,
now
because the penny Pentagon.
The Petty Pentagon.
Yeah.
Which why the fuck
sounds like
are
a
they
bad
just not...
No, that sounds like a bad villain that Stan Lee would have been
Pentagon.
like. Yeah, he'd been like, hey, what about the Petty Pentagon?
Hey, justice is blind, huh?
Hey, Steve, you can make this right. Make this visually interesting.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be mine. It's gonna be my guy.
I own the Petty Pentagon.
No, I did it. I made this guy. I get the cameos. I sound like Trump.
Do you guys ever watch that? Do you guys ever watch that animation thing of like Stan Lee pitching like shitty superheroes to like an admin board or something? I don't remember it was animated.
I think I
maybe it
saw.
was live action.
Was it a Key and Peele? I think.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was Key and Peele.
Yeah,
he was
it was like the geriatric guy or something, like
the geriatric man or something.
Yeah, something like that.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. It'd be so funny if there weren't 6 of them, because we know 5
that would
of
be
them.
that would be the
so
craziest. I would
if,
love
like,
that.
They just didn't have the 6th one, and it's like,
yeah.
Who is it gonna be? It's gonna be Venom. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be Venom. Venom's not a Sinister Six guy, and it's like
it's gotta be Mysterio. It's gotta be.
That's the only one that makes narrative.
Or what if? What happened to Scorpion?
Wait.
He doesn't exist anymore, Troy. He's gone. He's in the Far Cry games.
Credit scene where he said, "If I found out who he was, I'd fucking kill him." Where did he go? What happened with him? That was the whole point.
Troy, he never found out though, so it doesn't matter. He's gone.
They set this whole thing up fucking 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and they didn't do anything with it. What is the point of this? I'm like, it's just so weird to me. It's not even.
If I found who he was, I'd fucking kill him.
That's what he said.
I can't wait for that to be a clip. I could just use it at any given point.
All right, well, that's my time, everybody. Thanks for watching Fanboy Talk.
I think we gotta cut it. Nothing's gonna be funnier than
that's good. No, I'm cutting that and putting that in the video. That's so great.
Like we said, let Spider-Man say fuck. Let
Spider-Man say fuck.
Yeah,
Brian, I gotta show you what I have for the video because I think you love it.
I'm interested.
But yeah.
But no,
do we want to talk about the trailer? Is there anything else?
Let's
do it. Let's just get into the meat and pieces and
we
bones.
got 10 minutes left till the show.
The meat and pieces. The meat and pieces. What the fuck are
the
you?
meat and pieces?
Let's get into the meat and pieces, children.
Give me the meat and what are those things? It's like they make the they're not a fries. The pieces, yeah.
The piece, yeah.
It's the meat and pieces. That's
but like just with like the 6th villain, it's just like if it's Mysterio, okay, cool, fine.
The only thing that narratively makes sense in this entire series
of
movies...
But then it's like the fact that it's a big surprise. It's like, does that mean this is all bullshit? Does it mean this is a big Ralph Boner?
Here's the thing. That's what I thought, right? Is because the Mysterio in like the last movie was set up to be like, I have something basically like was like, oh, I have something grander planned for you, and I'm gonna do something crazy, and people will believe when they see. And like maybe that just ends with him revealing.
Wait, when did that happen?
Remember, like when he dies, he's like, people. I
assume that was just the identity stuff.
It seems like narratively, the way that like he reveals all the drones and he seems like he's setting something up. The only thing that makes sense is for everything in this movie to be a cop-out, which I don't want that to be the case.
They did the exact thing in the last movie. And like that was actually the best part of the last movie, is the reveal like, oh, Mysterio's an asshole. And totally that's the best part of
I actually have a theory here. I think that because you have to consider the fact that Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to come first. And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and
which is why they're retooling that movie now.
Yeah, no, they're totally reworking that movie, and I wonder if like maybe it is a cop out, and maybe at the end, like what's it called? The Toby and Andrew do come through the portal.
It's like a credit scene thing.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's really setting it up for Sam to because Bruce Campbell has been really shady about Doctor Strange 2. He's been really shady. They were like, "Oh, would you ever go back to it?" And
what if he comes? What if he's
like,
Mysterio?
"I don't want to talk about it."
What if he's Mysterio and Doctor Strange 2?
Well, that's what people are saying.
Cool.
Like, that's what people think might happen.
Really?
Is that they might show a little bit of glimpse of like what was supposed to happen in Spider-Man 4 with him being Mysterio, and I'm wondering if they kind of are too scared, too gun shy to really commit, and now they're like, "Oh fuck, now we have to do it," because like they can't fix it at the end of No Way Home, because then how are you going to have the multiverse of madness? That's what multiverse of madness is supposed to do, is to fix it, theoretically.
That's a good point. I think maybe what might, because it's like this multiverse stuff is happening because Peter fucked up the spell, you know. And it's like if that goes into a Doctor Strange movie, that feels very much like
The Spider-Man thing going.
it's a
into
Spider-Man
Doctor
thing
Strange
going
movie?
into Doctor
Yeah.
Strange. It was like, I guess I know we were just talking about like how Spider-Man should be the core of the MCU and stuff, and I get that, but like it hasn't been set up to be like that right now. I'm just not huge on like solo movies affecting other solo movies personally. That's not really my thing.
No,
But
I completely agree with you. I think that they
also-
should all just kind of
just do their own thing. Yeah,
do their thing.
like my dad should be able to watch all the Doctor Strange movies without having to fucking watch, you know, Infinity War, Endgame,
WandaVision.
Spider-Man, WandaVision, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the other thing you have to remember though with Doctor Strange is it wasn't gonna be directed by Sam initially.
Yeah, it was going to be Scott Derrickson.
Yeah, Scott Derrickson. So it's like I don't think Spider-Man stuff is gonna be a huge part of that movie, and I don't want it to.
But they're reworking it.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, but it's like
See, I want to trust. Sorry, I keep on interrupting you. I want to trust the fact that Sam had a vision for it.
yeah,
Based on like what he was walking into. However, the fact that they're doing apparently like 6 weeks worth of reshoots, and he looked fucking awful in that interview. God, I feel so bad. He looked like he had slept in months.
oof.
And I was like, oh, are they fucking with him? I was like, oh,
I think
please
they
just
are.
let him
Writing
do.
actively too.
I think
That's
I don't
the
even know
thing.
if they're. I don't know if they're fucking.
They're
with
writing
him
at
in
the
the way
same
that
time
like.
now.
I don't know if they're fucking with him in the way that like people are used to with like WB with Snyder or like Sony with him for Spider-Man 3. I think they're fucking with him in a way that's like, this is how our movies are made. They're fucking with him in the way that Edgar Wright got fucked with. And that like Edgar Wright just did not vibe with the way that Marvel likes to make their movies, because they, you know, he likes to have his freedom and he likes to do his own thing and edit the movies his own way. And, you know, and Marvel clearly wants this movie to be a bigger thing. Just a bit Doctor Strange. Marvel wants Doctor Strange 2 to be a bigger thing to set up potentially other things with the multiverse and stuff. Maybe Fantastic Four and whatever. And I feel like maybe he's not going to want that. I feel like maybe he just... I don't know. I don't fucking know. I literally know nothing about that movie. I know zero fucking things. I haven't seen any interviews. I have everything muted.
The thing that gets me worried with that movie too, especially, is they're reshooting, sure, but they're also writing actively. Like as we speak, they are writing as they reshoot, and I don't know
This gives
why.
me Flash movie vibes.
That's what. But the fact that they're writing actively is what scares me, because I think that they know that because they built up all of this stuff with Spider-Man, that I think that they're aware that it might not excuse me, it might not live up to what some people have built up.
So you're saying the Spider-Verse stuff is going to be bullshit, and then but in Doctor Strange 2 is when that stuff would actually be happening. That could be interesting, but it'd be kind of, because I don't know,
I'm not saying that it wouldn't totally happen, but I don't think that it's going to happen in a lot of the ways that people believe. I don't trust them. I don't, and I have perfectly good reasons not to. But like, I'm not elaborating. No, but really, I don't trust them to do it right, and I think that they're like realize that this is kind of a big opportunity, and now they're kind of like, oh fuck, and they're like, but this movie's already kind of pick locked. What are we gonna? Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, and it's like what I'm talking about in my video where I'm like, I don't trust anybody besides Sam to handle Toby. Maybe that would be the opportunity to get, yeah, that's a good point. That's fair. I just like it this would be like the 10th Ralph Boner in a row, you know?
Yeah.
As it would feel that way. Like with WandaVision, with other things, I'm assuming. With Far From Home even, to an extent. Which Far From Home, again, it works because it's like, that's the Mysterio character. That's the whole point of him. But it's like,
I mean, that's what the MC has been doing for. They did that with the Mandarin originally, and then they did
the constant Ralph Bonering. I think would burn a lot of people out. The Ralph Bonerification, the RBCU, the Ralph Boner Cinematic Universe.
There we go.
Like, if they were to keep doing, I think this is. They could do it and they could make it feel right, but it's just like with the way the marketing of this movie has been, it's a little bit different than how Far From Home was doing it, you know? Like this movie is basically telling, because it's, I mean, you've got the other Spider-Man villains. Like how would I don't know, maybe I'm just, you know, trying to read a little too much into it already, but it's like, how the fuck would Mysterio know about those guys? Like why?
How did he know about? I mean, well, here's the other interesting thing is that they technically did an MCU Sandman they technically did in MCU
Yeah.
Hydro Man or whatever.
Yeah, but
Or-
those
and
were
then what was
those
the
were
other
only
one?
named
There was
that
a-
within
there was a
like the
third one?
brand a Molten Man. That was mainly just like a brand thing of like that's what they called him on the toys, but it's like they're not actually. Did they even
Yeah.
call him Sandman in the marketing?
No, I think
like-
I
Yeah.
think that's just branding.
That's just
like
what
you're
people
right.
are saying. It's
I mean,
just
he
like, oh,
doesn't
he's a
even
rock
fight
guy.
him, really. He just shows up
No,
at the
he just-
beginning and then
Yeah,
And
Mysterio just goes,
Mysterio goes blue 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 blue.
yeah.
I have
like, oh, I'm Jake
lasers."
Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
Oh my god, no! The real
The real villain's gonna be Taylor Swift.
the real villain is Taylor
I was gonna
Swift. That's the sixth member of the Sinister Six.
That's
I
not gonna
I
be-
think I
no.
think you're right. There is a definite possibility of a Ralph Boner. I think that's just what we're gonna call it. Of them
Yeah.
totally bullshitting the Spider-Verse stuff. But could you imagine the shitstorm if they did that for the fourth time?
And
This
I will be there for all of it.
I would love it. It would be the most. I would honestly. I would even be frustrated, Mister. I hate Spider-Man
Yeah.
discourse. I would even be like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know.
I would. I'm just gonna turn into the Joker. I will
Really fun.
become the Joker.
Are you gonna
at
turn into
that
Barry
point.
Keoghan? I don't know if
Barry.
that's real or not.
I-
I just
I don't
keep
think that is.
seeing that.
I don't think that is. That seems weird. I don't know. It might be. Who
Oh.
fucking knows? I don't know.
He could. I don't. If you've seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer, I think he'd play.
No, I
a
think he could.
full-
No, I totally think he could. I absolutely believe him. He's a great actor.
I kind of want him to be the
Yeah,
Joker.
I
I wanted
Yeah.
him
My
to play
heart
the
is
Mad
set on
Hatter, but
my heart is so set on such a different Joker that if
I
it's
don't
just
want the
another,
Joker.
I don't want the Joker in general. But it's like if they're
Yeah.
gonna do it, I want it to be like super out there, completely different. You know.
Well, I would be interested in seeing Grant Morrison's take on the Joker a
Yeah.
little bit.
How do they
which
do
is
it? I
like
can't
what they did with Serious House and Serious Earth. I think was such an interesting look at the Joker. I like it was in essence like about like sort of the relationship between Batman and the Joker. It's like they definitely touch on the relationship between the Joker and Batman, and they really do this interesting sort of take where like the Joker is clearly unhinged, but he's not insane. Like
interesting.
he's like just a true evil person.
And I think that's kind of not to, because like it's that's kind of what the Joaquin Phoenix stuff was doing too. He's not insane, but they granted that they make him a little bit more like of a pitiful like oh, you kind of root for him.
Yeah,
society bet.
there's no pity in Grant's
Yeah, I
take.
know. Yeah, and I think, but yeah, that's true. Something interesting that could definitely work, but
I'd like to see him be like a Hannibal Lecter almost.
Yeah, that would actually be really interesting. But but this Batman is so young. It's like it'd be kind of hard to pull like he's already met the Joker.
Would it be like a Michael Myers Joker?
Oh, he's just
It's like he's
that's
just quiet.
actually exactly how they should be doing Joker. You're right. If he's just an evil entity that it's like people and it could be kind of interesting to see like maybe like a couple like what they did in the 2018 Halloween where like a couple psychiatrists try to have like a podcast about the Joker, you know, and they try to like
Harley
really
Quinn.
examine him. He's literally Harley Quinn's a podcaster, like a true crime podcast to be like, oh, we interviewed the Joker and we got a side of it, and you know we're trying. He's really just such, and I guess that's kind of what they do in White Knight, but White Knight it flips the roles around. White Knight is like Batman's a fucking asshole and Joker is actually like okay, you know. I believe I haven't finished that series and stuff.
Joker is I read it. It's an interesting take. It's very Elseworldsy.
It's
The more
very
you read it,
Elseworlds,
the more you're like, that's not the version.
Honestly, the most interesting stuff about that universe is that Jason was the first Robin. I find that very interesting. And
that's
Jason
a
died,
really
then Dick
interesting
came,
take. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just in general, I think that Barry Keoghan would really kill it. I mean, I wish that it was like it went like Heath, and then if he is the Joker, then Barry. Because listen, I don't hate 2019 Joker, Todd Phillips Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I don't hate it. I'm not in love with it. I thought it was a good performance. I think the movie's problematic. Obviously we all know what I think about other dude and what an awful person he is, and I wish that never existed. I wish it did not. And I would have been, if none of those came, I would have been so ready to see a Joker, but now I'm like,
we're tired of it. Yeah, it was like 3 in the same year, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2019 Joker, I'm like, I have like in a vacuum. I enjoy it as a movie. You know, it's like this is a fine movie. Direction not great, but good performance, good music. You know, and they did. Oh, what's going on with those lights?
I'm trying to, because my laptop died and like there's kind of like a dark on like my face, and I'm like, let's see if I can fix it.
Great.
He's getting that Battinson look. That Battinson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hold on.
There we go.
That's
there we go.
There's something in the way again.
But that like in a vacuum, it's like, okay, cool, this is fine. It's the only way I could potentially see a Joker origin movie thing being interesting in the slightest, you know. I do quite like some of the social stuff that they talk about, but it is also very like society. That's all it says, basically.
Well, I mean, it's like half baked. I mean, they only really go so far. And I mean, yes, I know it's a.
I'm glad that it attempts it in a realm of super corporate feeling, like apolitical movies that are just, you know, it attempts things, and I'm glad it attempts things, but it does shit that is stupid, and it does shit that is fucked up.
It is weird because it's like Todd Phillips also did War Dogs, and I love War Dogs. War Dogs is a fun movie with like. Jonah Hill's character is kind of like a Joker. He's more like Penguin, but he's kind of just a clown, you know, that's very responsible with a jonker. Yeah, he's a jonker.
We're all jonkers here.
We're in Miles Teller's also a jonker. But it was very much a movie
you mean an asshole?
Yeah. Yeah. But that movie is very much a movie where I'm like, I respect that there was a story at hand, and like I think part of that is also because War Dogs is based on a real story. And I feel like Todd Phillips is just good at doing that, where he's like, given a real story, he'll heighten the reality. But Joker is not a real story. So even when he heightens the reality, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't land for me. But
yeah, that's valid.
That's Jonker, though. Anyway, back to Spider-Man.
We only got to talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home Part 2099.
Who's gonna die? Everyone place your bets. Who's gonna die?
Yeah, let's honestly that'd be really funny. We should gamble about who's gonna die.
Gamble who's gonna die.
I want it to be Ned, but it's probably gonna be Aunt May, and I'm gonna be
it's gotta be Ned. It's gotta be Ned, because Ned's gonna turn into his real identity. The Hobgoblin.
Oh my god.
The Hobgoblin.
Listen, no, hold on. I'm gonna stare down the camera right now. Hey, Ned Leeds was never the Hobgoblin.
No, it was. I read it on the Wikipedia.
Get it through your fucking heads. He was never the Hobgoblin. He's never. If he is, great, cool. That's it's going off a history of Peter's best friend becoming a goblin in some way, shape, or form.
That's just Harry Osborn, but okay.
Yeah. But he was never the Hobgoblin. He wasn't. Read some comic books.
Read the act, and like I get it. I guess it was a retcon. The reveal that he was framed and stuff, but it's like can you realistically see this Ned Leeds becoming a supervillain in general, but let alone the Hobgoblin, let alone Mr. Mark Hamill going throwing fucking pumpkins and shit.
I do want to see this version of Ned like on a glider. That'd be pretty cool. Just because I think he'd be
what was the fan art? Was it him in like a Power Ranger suit or something?
Oh yeah, that was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
All of that fan art is the funniest thing in the world to me.
Wait, if you guys could find that and send that to me off camera, that'd be great.
That'll be the thumbnail.
Andrew Garfield's Harry became the Green Goblin. Tobey Maguire's Harry became
the new Goblin.
He became the new Goblin, and then Peter's Ned is going to become the Clout Goblin.
Clout Goblin. Oh God.
He's going to want.
But honestly, if Ned becomes Hobgoblin,
he just clout bomb tweets people.
If Ned becomes Hobgoblin, that's just like a repeat of Harry without like the social allegory of billionaires.
Why the fuck would they do that? I don't understand why they would.
I have no idea.
Is he also gonna have a snowboard?
Okay, that'd be cool though.
Snowboard glider.
Snowboard glider, and
around the
lamest face mask in the world.
What if that scene with him in the Statue of Liberty is a cop out?
I love Spider-Man 3. I fucking hate the new Goblin design. It is the most uninteresting possible thing they could have gone with.
Well, like here's the thing that's really fucking
Sony thing.
weird.
It had to have been a Sony thing.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know, because like here's what's interesting to me is that they do kind of allude to the fact that there was a hobgoblin angle that they might have pursued
Yeah, they
with
have
that
a
other
gold
mask.
version of that mask. Yeah,
Which I think would have been actually a kind of a cooler
would have been
design.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or honestly,
Did they
even
just do it
Or
because
just
it's
redoing
even
Green
just-
Goblin.
Yeah, even just him in a more updated version of the Green Goblin suit would have been really
With the-
cool.
Was
with the
snowboarding
purple,
like
yeah.
in
Yeah.
or something at the time? Is that why they did that? Is there
Yeah,
like,
I think
is there
like
a reason
wait, is
why?
it Sean White? Is that the guy? I don't
the
know.
snowboarder. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll
yeah.
bet you. I'll bet you
Oh,
there
okay.
were some Sony emails that weren't leaked that were like, the kids are really into snowboarders right now.
Yeah, I think it would be great if Peter's an adrenaline junkie. And
Oh my god,
Oh
those
goodness.
emails were so bad.
the worst.
I didn't when High Top read them into the video. I thought they were fake, and then like a
They
year
sound
later, I
fake,
thought
yeah.
that they were real, like
Yeah.
straight up. It was very strange to me,
The funniest thing in the world to me.
but yeah.
Um,
What
um,
else? Oh yeah.
Oh, the trailer
Eating
came
and-
out. We forgot
the
about
trailer-
the trailer. We haven't even
We
mentioned
didn't
the
really
trailer.
talk
trailer.
about the trailer. The bridge.
I have
we
zero
got more
thoughts.
looks.
That's my.
we got
I have
s-
zero thoughts except Goblin looks like shit.
I did
Goblin
the
looks
trailer.
real
I didn't-
bad.
I
Real bad.
reacted to it live and I didn't say anything because I was scared, but I'm no longer scared anymore. That trailer was kind of ass.
Yeah.
Just saying it.
It's. I mean, it's. I don't
Give
even
me
know if I'd
some
say it was a
hate.
bad trailer. It was a fine. It's a such a
was.
standard, regular action movie trailer. You know.
It's so aggressively mid.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like with all of the hype around it. Not and just obviously from Spider-Man Twitter, there was hype around it in general. But the way that Sony hyped it up, of like, hey, here's a fan event where you can go see this trailer in the theater, and we're gonna, you can react to it on the big screen. That implies that there's gonna be some big moment of like, whoa, like Soup's level reaction
Yeah,
from everybody.
hey, they all got to
you
meet
know?
Soups. Okay,
That's honestly that'd be worth it. I'd fly out to LA for that. But it's like that. Does that not imply like, oh, you're gonna scream, you're gonna, we're gonna film this, we're gonna get something from you, and thinking that would be either Toby or Andrew, some, or at least something. And
I
instead,
think
it's
there
just
was
like
originally
we
a
didn't
plan.
get much.
That
there has been.
last shot of Doctor Strange on the torch or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
I'm
gotta
convinced.
Be
I'm convinced that those are the three Spider-Man because he's not even lit correctly. He's
It's
lit in
composition
like a
horror.
studio
Yeah.
They're
top-down
reusing
lighting.
the shot where he's like, they're coming and I can't stop them. It's reusing another shot of Doctor Strange, but
Yeah.
flipped.
Oh, the
It's
what?
flipped but color graded differently. Yeah, and it's,
It's
like that. They're so obvious at this point, and I don't know if it's just that they've kept burning us before,
Which
so
is
now
so
they're
weird
obvious.
to me because
but
it's like, I guess they're trying to market the villains, but it's like, I would rather these trailers have just been that first act then, or even
Yeah.
that first, just make this
Yeah.
movie seem like it's some dark, grounded, like thing about
Everyone's
Peter's
after
identity.
Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like instead they're trying to have their cake of like, oh, big multiverse thing, but we're not going to spoil the Spider-Man that are so obviously in this movie.
And I think I'm one of the only people who have the stance of they should just straight up show them in some.
I think so
trailer.
too. I don't know.
Here's my reason for it. Here's my like weird ideology behind it. With Endgame, right? There was the whole final fight that had to be preserved in the theater. They never released any of it, right? But the reason for that is because everyone knew that Endgame was going to end with something climactic. They just didn't know what it was, They knew that Endgame was going to end with some crazy thing that changed everything and people would have crazy reactions.
Also,
and stuff.
everybody was going to
They
see
just-
Endgame regardless,
Exactly.
And
That was
granted, but this is a Spider-Man movie. People are going to go see this movie regardless.
How many people like in the US, the current population of the US is 400 million people, I want to say.
Sure.
Probably 400 million people. Of that 400 million people, how many people know that Toby and Andrew are going to be in this movie and then in turn are going to go watch this movie because of Toby and Andrew?
I grant.
Because of
Personally, I
Tony.
think there is a
Tony.
lot of people actually. I think there is a lot of people who because there've been so many articles being like they're
My
they're
boss knew.
confirmed.
My
boss?
my
Yeah.
boss knew,
Yeah,
and that's
scary. I'll bet you
That's
if I were to ask my dad, he'd know. My dad is always my source for what the normies think because he doesn't watch any movies. But like even if they didn't know that, there is still a pull of like that, and I think we're never talking about this. We're only talking about the Spider-Man. There is still a pull of Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is Goblin. Like I've seen a ton of tweets of being like, yeah, the old Spider-Man, like a bunch of like casual people being like, the new Spider-Man movies aren't the best or aren't my favorite thing, but I'm really excited for Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin to come back. Like
The way that
there's
the way that you
genuinely
gauge
a lot
that,
of people, you know.
Do you know how you gauge that? You gauge that because you take like IGN and all those other like news articles, and you look at what they're putting in their thumbnail for the trailer when they repost a trailer. Everyone's doing Gobby. Everyone is putting Goblin in it, and
there
I
is
think
a
that's
genuine interest because I think even like non-fans were like, man, he wasn't wasted because that movie's fucking amazing, but like he wasn't in those
came out
movies
in
enough.
2002. And he was never back after that.
Oh, hey, motherfucker! He was in the mirror. He was in the mirror.
Avenge me!
Avenge me!
I forgot that. Yeah,
He
that's
was-
true.
Oh my god, is that Willem Dafoe, the actor? I left you in the lighthouse.
Actor Willem Dafoe.
The Lightning House? The Lightning House?
I loved you as the villain in Death Note.
Hey, oh motherfucker! Okay, you have not watched Death Note. He's not a
I have
villain.
not.
He's not a villain.
He's
He's
not-
not
I
the
thought he was
villain.
a
He's
villain.
he's
I
a
thought he was a
supporting
villain.
role. He's a
I
good
saw it on
guy.
Twitter.
Ryuk is the
Someone said he was a
best.
villain.
He's the only good part of that movie.
Someone said he was a bad guy on
Well, they were
Twitter, so I
wrong.
just
They were
believed them
fucking
because I believe
wrong.
Twitter, you know.
The only bad guy is greed. The only
What?
villain
Social
in that
media
movie is
social media is
corporate
filled
greed.
with misinformation.
So
no
true.
way. That's not a thing.
Death Note. I hate that it's like the normie anime because the
Yeah,
anime is
figures it
actually
got a
legit
movie.
really good. The anime is like kind of fantastic as like a detective thing, and like it's like I don't want to get into it. I'm not a weeb, I promise. But
I'm just a Spider-Man fan.
I'm just a Spider-Man.
Worse.
I only watch guys. I only watch and engage in Western superhero media. I have never once seen an episode of My Hero Academia. I don't know what a One Punch Man is. I've never watched an anime before. Which those are all also normie animes. I'm not even a hardcore weeb. But like no, but I think there is a genuine pull of the villains. Like Duck Hawk too. Duck Hawk.
The cock.
Duck Hawk. Dr. Coctopus.
Dr. Coctopus.
He's
but
got
no,
eight of
and I think with the not
We're
necessarily
getting
normies.
porn versions of the
Please.
character.
Oh my
That's
God,
what
I
these
cannot
that's
wait.
what these
I
people
cannot wait
are.
for these. Oh my god. That'd be the funniest thing in the world. He's like,
Axel Braun
"You're not
is-
Peter Parker." And he flops out his schlong.
I'm looking for penis Parker.
That's okay. That's so.
I'm terrified of
least
the
in
list.
the other
I'm
movies, he
horrified. Oh
graduated
wait,
high
did
school.
you see? Did you see that? Did you see that picture of the lizard that was going around?
Oh, that's the HD one. Oh
Somebody
my
photoshopped
goodness.
a big giant cock on the lizard and was just.
Oh no.
He did.
No.
It was like fully green contrast too.
It was the
like
it was
they
the
upped
funniest thing in the
contrast.
world. I loved it. It was so funny.
I hated that picture so much. Oh,
The
my
gizzard.
A gizzard.
Gizzard. What
But no,
is
I
that?
think the villains have enough of a pull with like normies, you know, that I think. And granted, and there is a chance that maybe that's all they're gonna do. Maybe the spider people aren't in this.
See here. I know Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor, and I know that there are these pictures, and I know there's a lot of corroborating evidence about this. And it might be reshoots.
Maybe.
But like he does have like this bit of worry in him, and it might just be
Yeah.
that he's gonna spill it. But I feel like he's like kind of like, fuck. I think he's worried people are gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
By his
And-
showing up.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
or
gonna
like
be long.
no,
By
yeah,
him
like
showing
by
up
the
or by him not
like,
being in it.
but either by him not being in it or like what I was saying with him not being in it enough.
That's
I'm
that's
thinking,
the real
like,
thing. There's
I'm
there
thinking,
are all
like,
those
10
leaks saying
minutes
that
max.
I think it's an on your left final battle moment, and that is it. And that
And
is
that's
such a
bad.
waste of those
Bad.
actors. But at the same time, though, would you rather the writers of Ant-Man and the Wasp write for Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire?
The thing is,
Wait,
they're
I'm
gonna make
sorry.
those jokes
Who's
anyway.
writing this movie?
Oh yeah, the writers of Ant-Man and the Wasp are writing this movie.
Oh, I don't want them in this movie at all. No,
Yep.
take them out. Take them out.
Yep.
Take them out. Take
Yep,
them
No,
out.
but then here's the thing: is they're gonna make those jokes anyway, because it's the final battle, you know. And they made those jokes anyway in Endgame, so they're gonna make those jokes again here.
Do you think they will actually say on your left?
No. Here's what's gonna happen.
That would be kind of actually really funny if they did.
Doctor Strange is gonna go. I saw this on Twitter too. Doctor Strange is gonna go Peter, and they're all gonna turn around. They're gonna say what, and then you're gonna hear the laugh track, Ewan. That's what's gonna happen. It's because it's gonna be a
Yeah.
Seinfeld reference, and then George Costanza's gonna walk out. And
Hey,
say, hey,
George!
hey, May, how you doing? No?
Listen, what's the deal with all these Spider-Man people, huh? I want to start my Spider-Man fans video with a Seinfeld impression. That's my new goal.
That's your new Patreon goal.
With all these Spider-Man fans.
No, there's a legit possibility that it's just one. There was that leak that said they were going to be in it for 40 minutes, which I don't think that's the case.
Unless the final battle is like exorbitantly long.
Which it is
that would be the
2.5 hours. It is a 2.5 hour movie, so that is very.
They're just fighting for 40 minutes.
Spider-Man 3 was 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like, I don't think that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but also it could just be a terribly paced movie. It could be a horrifically paced movie.
It is John. I'm not gonna say that.
People are going to compare this movie with Spider-Man 3. Watch. People are going to directly compare this movie with Spider-Man.
No,
3.
well, I think, and we've said it 100 times.
I think it's valid.
Everybody say it with me. There's one movie this movie's going to be very similar to. The Rise of Skywalker.
Hey.
Yep. That's
Rise of
exactly what
Skywalker.
it's going to be like.
Good
job, Brian.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Brian is avoiding the drama.
No, it gives me that same. It gives the people are saying Spider-Man 3 because they only watch Spider-Man movies, but like it's the same vibe of like.
It is. It's very Rise of Skywalker. You're 100% right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, who are you? I'm Ben Parker, and it's gonna be fucking Toby, and it's just gonna be like.
I'll bet you the most they're gonna do with the Ben Toby stuff is if Toby shows up again, Tom is just gonna say Uncle Ben, like really in your face about it,
and he's gonna be
like, Marissa Tomei is gonna be like Uncle Ben, and then Happy's gonna be like Uncle Ben, and then Happy's gonna get fucking shot. He's just like, like they have those guns on him in the car.
I straight up think May and Happy and Ned are all gonna die. I think that's like
if it's Happy and or Ned, I'm satisfied. But I really think that would be such a fucking waste of Marissa Tomei. Like,
what if they all died?
Everybody dies.
What if everybody died?
They said this movie ends sadly, and like the only thing that I could think that'd be sadder than one person dying, because in a lot of Spider-Man movies, one person dies would be more than one person dies because these.
Well, it's not a Spider-Man movie if it doesn't end with a funeral.
True.
That's true.
Well, okay. Does that mean that Homecoming and Far From Home weren't Spider-Man movies because nobody died in those movies?
It was the funeral of this character. Am I right?
Hey, Bazinga! Hey, you said it, not me.
Yeah, I did.
But like,
good joke, great joke, even.
Have you guys seen? I've mentioned King of Staten Island like 10 times in this episode.
Yeah,
like
I haven't. I want to. I need to.
Yeah,
I need to.
You've seen it.
Yeah,
that's the perfect Aunt May right there. Is that not? She is literally the perfect Aunt May in that movie.
So, like now that you say that,
I think she took that role because she was like, "Fuck, they are wasting me." She is a grieving New York working class widow, and it's like, with a son that is like kind of an asshole and constantly shucks his responsibilities and everything. Why are they not using her to her fullest potential? I don't know. I feel like George Costanza, but I'm like, Marissa Tomei. She's right there. She's right fucking there. Why aren't you using her?
Well, what's frustrating, like, and it's the same shit that we've been talking about, like, since these movies have come out, and you know, there's an argument to be made that Homecoming does it, but like, so let's just rag on Far From Home. Is that it completely? If you want to do that as like a tie-in comic, something, or even like an episode of What If, or I don't know, I really don't know what you would do if you want to tell that story, but. When you take Peter away from his entire life, what you're doing is putting everybody else that isn't Peter and the characters that he's with in a totally, like, you're taking away from their development. There's nowhere they can go. Like, so, and we all want to know what's going on in Peter's life, but Peter's life isn't normally like that. He's not in Europe all the time. So there's no development being made. I mean, really. I mean, what does he learn from that movie? I mean, we're gonna find out, but like, it doesn't.
He
like,
learns
you were
basically
taking
the same
away the
lesson
growth
from Homecoming of like.
Yeah, it's the same movie.
It's the same. Yeah.
What if he learns the same lesson again?
Iron Man. Yeah.
That is my.
What
worry.
if? Oh my god! What if what if the movie starts and he's trying to be Tony Stark and then he decides he can't be Tony Stark
because he's trying to deal with revealing his identity, because they are going to make a parallel. They are
have to.
definitely going to make a parallel between
the
Tony
day
and
I
Peter.
walked out of Far From Home at fucking 3 a.m. on my birthday, I listened to a couple dude bros say, "Oh, that's a lot like the ending of Iron Man, where he reveals his identity, only it's unwilling this time." And I fucking exploded. I was about to be like, Jesus fucking Christ. And but you know that's what the directions are gonna go in. Like,
No, it's like the
to.
ending of season 6 of Arrow. That's different. It's so different.
It's more like Green Arrow than
go to-
Iron Man.
Honestly, imagine if Spider-Man went to jail for that. I'd like that. That'd be cool.
Spider-Man in jail would be really fun.
Spider-Man escape from Supermax. I'd be down.
I mean, that's just that Spectacular Spider-Man episode.
I want to
that's
see.
how you do
I want to see
Spectacular.
Daredevil in jail.
Yeah.
I want to see the Daredevil in jail
That'd be really
thing
fun.
that they were
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
But-
pretty rad.
But I don't know. I just
Speaking
So-
of Daredevil,
Speaking of Daredevil, that's a good.
Speaking
good,
of
nice
Daredevil.
job. You're learning how to segue, Brian. We're so proud
I'm
of
learning
you.
on the spot.
We're so proud of you. Yeah, I mean, Daredevil. Cool. I'm glad that
Yeah.
he's allegedly going to be in this movie. It's very cool.
I'm
It
glad I have
also
to make an
feels
Among Us
like
video now because
if
he's going to be in
if
this
he's
movie.
just in like 2 minutes.
He's
and
not
he's-
going to suit up.
No, I don't expect him to suit up. I don't
Yeah,
even want him
no.
to suit up. But
Yeah.
if he's only in like a scene, that would mean that the law stuff, the identity stuff, is done with. That there is no drama that they do with that for the rest of the movie.
It is
You know?
so egregious to me that this movie is almost definitely not going to end in a courtroom scene.
No.
Which it
What
should.
the fuck?
It,
Yeah.
it absolutely should. And it's like, because they're like, imagine if the third act was in a courtroom.
And it's not a
Imagine
fucking
how-
fight. That
It
would
would
the
be so.
coolest.
It
Here's
would
the
be
thing.
so
The
cool.
Flash, The Flash season 4. I don't love The Flash season 4. It has a lot of problems.
The first half.
But-
Here's my take on Flash season 4. First half of season 4 is actually really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The courtroom
And then
scene.
that scene,
There is
great.
a scene. The scene where he is saving the guy and saving the city because he is
Mm-hmm.
working his damnedest to throw him into another universe. And at the same time, the judge is sentencing him to
Yep.
a life sentence in
Fantastic.
prison.
That's
Is
awesome.
one of my favorite scenes in the entire fucking
Yep.
show.
And then it becomes doo-doo from the rest of the
Yeah,
show
exactly.
on. Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
But-
I totally agree. But they could do something interesting where it's like the final battle has already happened. You know, he's in court. Peter's beaten to shit. He's exhausted. And he's really tired.
Yeah.
And this judge is like berating him, and we keep flashing back to the final battle.
And
you know?
and people have died.
People have died.
know-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
They're
what
like
else
they
kind of
want,
does
and we
that?
don't know. Maybe we don't know who died, and they're like call up Ned Leeds to the stand, and he doesn't show up. You
Yeah.
know.
You know what else kind of does that, but it's not the same with the time shit? Skyfall. You know Skyfall, when Judi Dench is monologuing?
Yeah.
Bailey was tweeting about this earlier, where Judi Dench is monologuing in a way that reflects the story of
Yeah, that's a
Skyfall,
good point.
and James Bond is rushing to save her as fast as he can. It's like that's the kind of thing that I want more in these kind of movies.
Yeah, voiceover
but
needs
it's
to be
always
used in an interesting way. Ironically, we were just
Exactly.
talking about with Tick Tick Boom.
in a Spider-Man movie of all things, where that should define the movie
Yeah.
in a way is the voiceover. But
I'm actually
Is Tick
obsessed
Tick
now.
Boom a Spider-Man movie?
Honestly, it's in New York. There's a
Yeah.
line in that you're gonna love. It's Andrew says it's New York. Nobody's happy. That's my favorite line.
Oh god. Oh god.
No, yeah,
Uh,
King
but
of Staten Island and Tick Tick Boom are actually the best Spider-Man movies.
that makes sense. That makes
Confirmed.
sense. Yeah. I just miss Homecoming. I did a video on it, but I keep thinking.
Oh, you do?
about
Oh, I didn't realize you missed Homecoming.
it. Yeah, I did. It's weird. But
I
dude,
long for Homecoming.
Long for Homecoming.
Yeah, that's gonna be the sequel. Because I rewatched clips from Far From Home earlier today, and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? It's
Yeah.
like, it's not that the movie. It's the sad thing is we are the only people that feel like this, along with
It is-
couple
yeah.
of other people. There are other people that feel like this, but their voices aren't powerful enough for changes to be made. You know, because the normal going viewer is gonna walk into this movie and go, "Oh, the lizard's in it from that
Fun
one
Spider-Man
movie
film.
that's
Fun Spider-Man movie. Yeah.
Exactly. And I guess that's all these movies really need to be.
Granted though, you
but-
could say the same for Star Wars though. Star Wars very easily
Sure.
tried to be. Oh, I don't know. I guess Star Wars has more of a history with film and like.
The problem
it
is Star Wars has
your expected
fans
weight in a
that
Star
are
Wars
40
movie.
years old. You know,
Yeah.
they have an older generation of fans who inherently are just more critical of the media.
Yeah,
Whereas
Well,
this
but
is
like
just
we are the
applies to everyone.
problem. We are the problem because the first time that Star Wars tried to get like artsy, or just like it's not even really artsy, but just tried to be deeper.
Tried to do something.
That lightsaber hits lightsaber
Yeah.
is like it was last The Last Jedi, and whatever you think about The Last Jedi, I like it, except for the 30 minutes where they go like into that like adventure that turned into nothing.
Ryan, are we the same person? Are we the same person?
I think we both have mustaches. So.
Oh shit!
You guys...
Oh, we're both. I forgot to say it, but my goal is to become J. Jonah Jameson by the time the movie comes out.
That's a good idea.
That's a good goal.
Gotta dye your hair.
No,
too.
but
Yeah.
like the first time that like Star Wars tried to get like a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
It became at least a while
controversial and political.
Everyone got fucking pissed, and it was like, you didn't do what we wanted. Do you want to be given what you expected every single time? That's so fucking boring.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Like to like challenge what your perspective.
And that was the whole theme of the movie too. The whole point was challenging yourself and like not always like. I don't want to get into it, but
but not everything is as it seems, or not everything is special. But like, and that's what these movies are kind of doing. If they're doing the Rise of Skywalker, or frankly, a lot of them. All right, so most of the MCU, I think, has just been doing like a Force Awakens.
Yeah,
like it's serviceable, it's fun, it's not too in your face. You can go back and you can watch it and have a good time.
There's usually one scene in all the movies where it's like, I skip this.
Yeah, like it's a good time that you can rewatch, and there's some cool moments. Yeah, not too offensive. And then there's
some deeper stuff. You got your Black Panther. You got there's Black Panther. I don't love Black Panther. Like the final act, Black Panther is kind of meh. But like for the rest, Black Panther's pretty solid.
Yeah, but like then I think that this movie is gonna Rise of Skywalker.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And but the real test if it's Rise of Skywalker is, I was not the biggest fan of Last Jedi when it came out. Like I wasn't like SJW hate it, but like I was also like kind of like, oh, the obsession with I felt like there was a little too much subversion. I didn't like the comedy. I still
like
feel
your
the same
fix
way.
for it. I do like your fix for it when you did that video.
I don't like that video.
Ago.
That video feels like a Star. I don't like making Star Wars videos.
That Gudio.
But like, okay, the like Rise of Skywalker was so bad it made me realize how much I was missing with Last Jedi, and the same happened with Far From Home. Far From Home made me be like, oh wait, I didn't even realize what I was missing with Homecoming. I didn't even I completely forgot about these things that I actually really loved. What if No Way Home is the same for Far From Home? What if I look back on Far From Home and I'm like, man, I didn't know what I was missing.
We're gonna watch that mysterious sequence where he gets beat up to shit, and we're gonna be like, "Aw, that was a good days."
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep replaying that scene over and over again.
It will have to be literally probably one of the worst movies ever made for me to look back, like retroactively on Far From Home and be like, "Oh man, yeah, we did have a good." No, I despise that movie.
Yeah. It's watch it be 100% the baby goats scene on the bus. That's the whole movie.
It's like when we pointed at Homecoming, we were like, oh, the I'm watching porn joke, and that's all Far From Home. And then now with Far From Home, we're like, oh, the baby goat scene is going to be the rest of No Way Home. It's like, then what's going to happen in the next one too?
Fuck. That's the oh boy.
Yeah. And it's like,
to be honest, the I'm watching porn scene is pretty funny.
No, that's funny. Yeah, it's the way I see it is Far From Home is the worst parts of the Washington D.C. stuff from Homecoming made into a movie.
Yeah, that's actually
taking away from New York.
Hey,
there's really
fat guy, stop moving around. It's like okay,
it's
big guy.
The worst aspects. But then you get Jake Gyllenhaal, and then you get Tony Stark. Tom Holland's Peter Parker a Taylor Swift fan now, I guess. Honestly, probably is. He's probably a huge stan. He's probably too young to have listened to Linkin Park. Think about that. That's weird. That fucks me up.
All right. If you weren't listening to Linkin Park, please click off.
Yeah. If I'm gonna be real, if you didn't listen to Linkin Park in middle school and or high school,
I listened to it.
I don't want any part of you. You didn't enjoy it. Go fuck yourself, Linkin Park.
How dare you say that about Chester Bennington and his whole?
Rest in peace. I love that king.
Rest in peace, Chester.
It was okay.
If you weren't listening to Numb and looking out the like the window
but
of your
how
bus,
many
like you were
times-
the first
How
character,
many
like the main
times have I heard
character.
numb? I've heard numb way too much to enjoy it. I've become so numb to this
like I know I always
song.
joke. I always
It's
I know I always ironically say something's the best, but I actually legit Linkin Park has made like the best music I've ever listened to.
Linkin Park
impact
is
on me.
genuinely a good band with like
great band.
banger after banger after banger,
and their
so
newer
many
shit,
good songs.
Their newer shit
was not bad.
I haven't listened to
fantastic.
any of
I
those.
Wasn't
love
bad.
their new shit. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
great.
no, I was a big fan. Like especially what was that album? Like 2012.
Iridescent?
Like no, like it had Burn It Down, had Castle of Glass and stuff like that.
Was it not called Iridescent? I know which one you're talking. I know
Burn
I
It-
can
yeah,
picture
yeah,
the
yeah.
album art, but I can't picture
Yeah,
I
that was
can't
a
remember
pretty
the name
good
of it.
album.
That was a really
Like,
good album. I was always more down with their like kind of chiller, like more like somber stuff. You know, because I felt like it aged a little bit better.
yeah, I like Minutes to Midnight too. That was a good
I
album.
listened to a bit of Nine
Miss
Inch
Minute is
Nails just
iconic.
because the two of them composed music for so many movies, like Soul and Social Network and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just like the most interesting thing of like Nine Inch Nails and also movie soundtracks, or like it's just like they just do both, and it's kind of cool to think about that.
That is interesting. Yeah, they did 300, I think, right?
Yeah, and they did Soul, which was it works.
Oh,
well
the Pixar
enough, I think,
Soul?
for-
Oh, that's
yeah,
right. I
the
didn't know about
Pixar
that.
Soul.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, Trevor.
the
I never
jazzy
saw.
stuff?
I never saw that, but
Yeah,
I
think so. I might
the
be wrong,
discourse
I think
around
so.
Soul was a little too much. It was a little too like, okay, you're treating it like it's the like the best movie ever fucking made.
Yeah.
When in reality it's a decent Pixar movie. But it's got some interesting stuff, interesting ideas. I really liked it.
yeah.
Looking it up just to make sure I'm not completely wrong.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's once we be completely fucking wrong.
yeah. Lin-Manuel Miranda actually made the music for Soul.
Lin-Manuel Miranda actually directed Spider-Man: No Way Home.
You know what?
Watch him make a fucking
know what?
jump scare cameo.
You know
He's
what?
gonna make a
Again,
jump scare
again,
cameo.
I didn't love
He's
his
the
direction in
sixth
Tick, Tick,
member.
Boom.
He's the sixth member.
It's Hamilton.
Oh
Alexander
my
Hamilton.
goodness. You know what's getting kind of annoying? Jimmy Kimmel wanting to be Craven the Last, or not
What?
Craven the Last Hunter. Jimmy Kimmel keeps wanting to be Craven.
What? Jimmy
After
Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel, like on his set, was like, "Who's the sixth? No way, who's the sixth member of the Sinister Six? It's gonna be me, Craven." And then he was like wearing a
legit-
Craven getup.
I just blacked out for like 2
I know,
seconds
I
from
know.
that concept.
I need to show you an image later. It is so horrid.
You're fucking
It's like-
joking.
It's no,
I
I'm not.
would-
He's been talking about how he wants the role for the past like year. He's like, I should be Craven. Let me be Craven. Hey, and I'm like,
Genuinely, you would never hear from me again.
Yeah.
I'd
go
leave
hide.
society. I
live
would
under
go.
a
I would.
rock.
No, I'd go into the wilderness in Canada, and I would just live, and I would die.
I wouldn't even live. I would strap some cinder blocks to my feet. I'd walk into the ocean.
Yeah.
that's yeah. That's
Go live with
it's-
Aquaman.
It's like that's like the equivalent of. I want
I
to
was
say
gonna do
like
an
Jane,
All
Aquaman thing. Couldn't do
right.
it.
All right.
I still love that movie that made Pitbull do Ocean to Ocean.
Oh my
which
god,
is
the
my
best part. The
favorite
best part of that.
song
Best part of
all
that
time.
movie.
From Ocean to Ocean is beautiful.
It's where everybody
I
goes
love
to
that.
times. Believe
Do
me,
you
been
think,
there, done
do you
that.
think they know they're making a meme song when they make it? Like Ocean to Ocean happened, then fucking the Rock song, and then Eminem Venom. You know, like, they know, right?
I don't think music people, except maybe like pop music and stuff, but I don't think like music, the music industry is trying to capitalize on memes just yet. Maybe
Yeah.
TikToks, but I don't think memes just yet.
Yeah,
I don't think that they
like-
get it.
I don't think so, I don't think so either. I think also the
Because
music
there's-
industry, there's some bullshit that goes on there, but it's like a lot of the bigger stuff is relatively artist driven.
Yeah.
Versus,
because like
you know,
I mean, Doja music gets to become like meme music, but also
I think
she's
that's just because
making that
Doja makes
music
really
'cause
good
she-
music. That's
Exactly.
Really,
Yeah. Same thing with like Lil Nas X music. It's like
Yeah.
they become
I
meme
love
songs.
Lil
but they're
Nas
all-
X.
I love
He's
Lil Nas.
so
Yeah,
good.
Lil Nas and
So
Doja, I think,
good.
are the two best people working today.
When everyone was like Lil
100%,
Nas needs to be Miles Morales because of that picture, I was like, that's racist. But actually, he said he's like, it's confirmed. I'm gonna be Miles Morales, and I was like, okay, that's.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You see,
That's-
they pull a Harry Styles in Eternals.
Yeah. But
and
you
he just,
see
just
him-
randomly Lil Nas is in the movie.
Yeah,
And he's
but
Miles
you
Morales.
see him stand next to Tom Holland, and I'm just like, it's like he's too tall.
Yeah, I think
like,
if they're gonna do Miles Morales, it really has to be an unknown. Like they can't pull
Yeah,
like from
exactly.
somebody we already know. Like even if it's the guy from like Stranger Things,
that's
he's
what people were
too
saying. They
well
wanted to
known.
be the
He's
Stranger-
too.
He
Also,
grew
I
up
mean,
in he grew up in my hometown.
Oh, he did. That's cool.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Also,
That's
I mean,
cool.
here's the real take though with Miles Morales. They should probably get somebody with the actual ethnicity of Miles of the Latino
Yeah,
part of him
of
too,
half-
because that's a
yeah,
very important
exactly.
part of his character.
Yeah,
You
they
know.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's just but I'm gonna go pee really quick, and then we can get into
Yeah,
the
I
questions
also
if you
have to
want.
go.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I
I
have
have
to go
questions.
pee.
Yes.
Pee break.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
While you guys were pissing, I was on the grind. Is that what we're gonna open it with?
I have a special guest with me now. I have
Ooh,
Mr.
yes.
Kylo.
Kylo.
Can we see him? Can we please see him?
Audio
Yeah, I could
listeners,
try. I
you're
could try and
gonna
get him.
miss out.
He's sitting on like my spare couch here. Hold on.
Kylo is Brian's dog, by the way. For anyone who does not know,
Yes,
Kylo is
and
the
he
cutest.
cutest thing.
he is really
Ever.
the cutest thing.
Yep.
Till
Yeah,
Brian
we got a good. Yeah.
We got a good amount of questions. Yeah.
Brian,
so
talk
finally,
so we can see.
I remember to ask.
Wait.
Yeah, talk.
Brian, talk.
You can't really see him. He's kind of blacked out.
He's so cute though. Look at that dog. Look at that fucking dog.
Say something. Say something.
Speak.
Little ASMR. Little AS. Come on. Come on. Do something. He doesn't want to do it. He's a.
Such a good fucking dog. He's such a good
He's
dog.
so cute. He's so cute. He's a good doggo. He's
Yeah,
gonna beat the
he's-
shit out of the gizzard. That's what he's gonna do, right?
Yeah. Fuck up the gizzard.
Fuck up the gizzard.
Fuck up the gizzard. Alright, I'm gonna put him down. He's hating me.
Oh.
Oh.
Go back.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
back up to the couch.
And
But
with
did we have
that-
anything else we want to talk about Spider-Man related?
Not Spider-Man
mean-
related. Oh,
We
one quick
really
question
didn't
for
talk
the
about the
audience.
trailer.
We didn't really, and I guess we're gonna have questions kind of about the trailer
Yeah,
too,
probably.
inevitably.
I
But
like literally.
one quick-
I mean, it sucks because we talked about it for like 20 minutes when it came out, and I just decided not to record it because it didn't. The trailer didn't interest me very much.
Mm.
It's literally just a trailer, and like some things interest me, some small things don't. I really the thing that just keeps standing out to me is Goblin looks like fucking shit.
It's
That's the worst.
so
That's the worst CGI. It
Yeah.
looks so bad.
And the worst part about it is like it's such an easily done shot practically, not even
Yeah.
fully practically, not even the back. Not the back. It can be green screen or blue screened, I guess, because he's green.
Yeah.
And it's like the
No,
suit
like-
exists. They didn't change the suit. I mean, well, they did change. They changed the mask design, and it looks worse.
It looks
It's
more
Yeah, because
rounded, like a
it's
raisin.
just goggles. Well, no. Oh, well, I was.
Well,
talking
that's
about
the
that
other one.
shit.
That's
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
one we.
yeah.
Well, we saw
Yeah,
that for
no.
a little bit.
Yeah, but I like that suit was. You know what? Fuck that shit. Like, no, that suit was good. That suit was good.
So it was great.
Yeah. And all you need to do is add what they did add to the second suit, but they took away the key part of it.
The
Yes,
mask,
does Willem Dafoe have a goblin face? Yes, he does. We love him for it. But I want to see the mask.
The mask is so iconic, and like I mean, there was that fan edit of I don't know. They pretended it was a leak, but it was just a fan edit. But like the fan edit of like the Raimi suit, the Raimi Goblin suit with like the purple for the tip of the head for like the
Yeah.
because
back
you
tip.
see the outline of the
purple.
tip on
Yeah.
the mask itself.
Yeah.
So
It's
Right.
just it really is just adding color and then added like a purple scarf on him to just a little bit of depth. It's
Wait,
very
I'm just
simple.
imagining. No, I'm
It's a
just
little just a
imagining
little
like
cashmere scarf.
like a little scarf.
yeah, it is weird how like they straight up just give him a purple hoodie to cover his entire chest. I don't love that because like you can kind of see on some of not leaks but even concept art, you can see the detail on the chest area that's cool to look at. So I hope they don't just cover all of it up with a purple hoodie because I feel like that's
It'd be
a
really
little
funny
bit
if they
lame.
did actually.
Yeah,
It would be
keep it-
funny.
no.
though, yeah.
Nah,
No, what if
Green
what if
Goblin's
actually
comfy.
like we all
Yeah.
assume that he's gonna show up on the glider, but what if he's just like remember the scene in Spider-Man 1 in the burning building where he turns around and he's like yelling because he was pretending to be an old lady? What if
He's
he's just
just
wearing
running.
a purple hoodie and he's just in the
He's just
crowd
running.
and then Spider-Man goes up to him and he goes Rah! Just jump scares.
You just see this
See-
jump scare where he like goes to the camera like that.
Oh
Yeah.
god, I shit myself because I thought I had an extra beat to prepare.
But nope, you didn't. It surprises you.
Surprises me.
No, but here's the thing though, is that Mason from the Weekly Planet, he had said for those movies that when they did that scene, why didn't they just have like the cloth that he was covering himself in burn into the costume and then so it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
with the rag, that would have been so sick. Just
Yeah.
like it was a good costume.
And like
But,
I really like the practical mask, and I talk about it in the commentary. But I kind of like the mask that they went with more. I think the shape of it is a little bit more iconic, and like,
you see his eyes.
you see his eyes,
mouth,
and like, and also just like it furthers the fact that it's a mask, that it's like
Yeah, that
it's
it's
just
a guy in a
mask
costume.
that takes it, where versus like, and I guess it's interesting. Like I don't like Ultimate Green Goblin where it's like a transformation.
That is the fucking laziest.
Because there's something
boring.
very and this is why I don't like the Iron Spider suit with the nanotech. There's something very special about a character in a costume that has their mask taken off of them. There's something very like important about the removal of a mask. Persona 5 basically. Oh, I played Persona 5. I'm playing that again. That's all I have to say. But yeah, I don't know.
Before we get into questions, also I have a question for the audience. I forgot to mention this earlier. So my sister really liked Dune, right? She asked me for more movies like Dune, and I was kind of stuck because they had to be PG-13, and all of Denny's other films are usually rated R, except Arrival. So I recommended Arrival. So if anyone in the comments has recommendations for movies like Dune that are really cool, just let me know. Just because I want that.
I would.
But yeah.
My brain is going to like
Holes.
and we holes.
Sand.
Shia
holes.
LaBeouf.
Sand.
Oh, sand. Oh. That's what.
Okay.
Like we have this conversation like all the time and stuff, but like my brain just keeps going to like the early 2000s blockbusters that were like actually good and had like genuine filmmaking applied to them, like Pirates and like. Because I think I think is actually the reason why people are interested in Dune right now, because it's like, and I meant to say this when we were talking about it before, but I think there is, like, everybody likes to break film goers into the Oscar stuff and then the popcorn movies, right? But I think that general audiences do see when a movie is like made with like intent and with passion and stuff.
The Batman. You have the reaction to the Batman trailer.
The Batman. Yeah, exactly. And then I think Dune is another example where it's like, I think people like, people probably went to go see it because of Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. But like, I think people stayed and enjoyed it because like it's a well-made movie. It's a well-shot movie. It's not a perfect movie. Like I think I agree with you, Brian, about like the structure of it. And like, It's very clearly a movie just made to, without the sequel, it kind of feels incomplete. But like, just from a filmmaking standpoint alone, Dune stands on another level than like kind of anything else coming out right now. Maybe I haven't seen the new James Bond, but like,
James Bond. Brian, have you seen the new James Bond?
Weirdly, I have not. I'm not a huge James Bond fan. I'm a pretty fair James Bond fan, and I love Craig's Bond, and I don't know why I haven't seen it, to be honest.
I am really excited to talk with you. I'm really excited to talk with you about that because
I'm gonna try and watch it this week. Because I gotta watch Spectre first, but I don't know. I'll watch.
I need to.
Oh wait, I haven't seen Spectre.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Troy, do you want to watch Spectre?
Honestly, kind of. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'd be down to join you guys. But yeah.
No.
Yeah. So just.
Fine.
I'll just go back to clout tweeting, I guess. I'll just go back to fucking clout tweeting, Brian. Is that what you want? Is that what
go
you
back to
wanted
clout
from
tweeting
me?
and spoiling the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, no. Wait, hold on. We need to hash something out here. We need like an alliteration. It can't be mustache boys. Mustache masters. Mustache men.
Mustache men.
Mustache men.
Yeah.
Mustache
Or
musketeers. Mustache musketeers. There you go. That's long.
Or
Musketeers.
Bustache boys.
Mustache boys.
Bustache
boys.
Mustache boys. All right. Hey, I got an actual beard. I don't know if it's an actual.
No, it looks
beard.
good. I'm jealous. I wish the reason I only got a mustache is because mine couldn't grow in a satisfying way.
Yeah, I'm keeping this for as long as I can until my parents yell at me this Thanksgiving, and they will. But I think I'm growing it pretty well. I just need to trim it better. But yeah. All right. Do we want to get into questions? I'm not gonna stall for longer. Let's get into the viewer questions because they all have really exciting and enticing questions for us, I assume.
Troy, what did you think of the No Way Home trailer? Troy, what did you think of the No Way Home trailer?
There was a No Way Home trailer? I didn't know that.
No, what's a No Way Home?
I've never heard of that. What's a Spider-Man? I
only know about Spider-Man Home Worlds. Remember when people thought that was the fucking
No. I'm a bigger fan of Spider-Man Homies.
Spider-Man Homies.
That's a funny.
The Homies was funny, but then I saw somebody did fan art with Peter and Miles, and it's like that's what it would be about. And then I was like, oh wait, I would actually kind of be sold on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, I saw this like this poster where it was like they had like it was like I think it was like just Peter's like regular like foot in the Spider-Man costume, and then like Miles's foot with like J's on, and I was like,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know. I'm at this point. I'm such a fucking shill that anything with Miles, I'm instantly gonna be excited for, and that's kind of why. That's what a lot of the reason why I'm not super into what No Way Home is doing. Just the lack of Miles is like, what the fuck?
Do you think that? Here's a question. I have a question for you guys. Do you think that Into the Spider-Verse has hurt Miles' chances of being integrated into the MCU, or do you think that it's?
I think it's benefited. I think it's been
benefited.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's far greater now. I think we were talking about characters that might die in No Way Home.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will happen. I don't know if I want it to happen. It would be interesting. What if Peter dies? You know, what if that's what they do? They do a trilogy with Peter. We get Miles.
Yeah, what if that shot of him in the rain, like that opens the trailer, which is a beautiful shot. What if that's like with him in like a big fucking hole in his chest?
Yeah.
I do. There's a theory in the back of my head that if Molina wants to keep kind of being a small part in these movies afterwards, what if this movie ends with like Superior Spider-Man?
That could be interesting too.
I could see that potentially happening.
Okay, but that's the thing with Superior Spider-Man is Molina wouldn't be in it then.
No,
yeah,
but like
it would just be Tom.
Like,
it would be Tom, and then it'd be Tom, and then I guess you could maybe do something
Molina
like
shows up like at the end,
or even as like a voiceover or something. Well, because Superior Spider-Man was Ock in Peter's body, but then Peter as like an astral projection, always following him.
Dude,
that's what was really fun about
Superior
that run. That run was so
Spider-Man.
fucking fun.
So
that was so
good.
great. It was so good.
But yeah.
There's a chance. I think there's a bigger chance of that happening though with the games. I think Superior Spider-Man is going to end in. They're going to do that at the end of the second game.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because, like, with the arms and with what they did with Ock in the first game, there's, it seems more likely.
Yeah.
But I guess we can get the questions now. Who do you want to? Because I've got some on my tweet. It looks like we've got
Charles's, which was pretty cool.
We've got fuck, we have a lot on this shit.
Yeah, a good of them. We have a good of them. We can run through.
We have a good of them.
A good of them. Charles asked, dare to entertain. Charles asked, which score to Spider-Man emotionally hit you the hardest? Really curious to hear what you lads have to say about this one. The next time I hear Christian or Hassan or someone retweet the fucking Electro theme again on my TL, I'm gonna block everyone.
I just think TL in real life. TL.
Yeah. but I was gonna say the Gwen theme in TASM 2. The Gwen theme in TASM 2 is like really good. It's like da 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 da. It's really good for writing, and the scene where it plays is really cool.
I have an interesting take. Not the take is interesting, but so Spider-Man 2, obviously the soundtrack is goated in that. It's fucking killer soundtrack. I love the use of the lack of soundtrack in that movie. The way that it doesn't use music in certain scenes of like from the second that there's Spider-Man No More, there you get the raindrop scene obviously, and then a couple like villain stuff, but with Peter every other scene is like no soundtrack, no OST, nothing. Maybe a couple, I mean, there's obviously some stuff, but like for the most part, most scenes are very quiet, up until he comes back as Spider-Man, and then boom, big theme again. And I find that use of the soundtrack very interesting, and like it's the same with the final fight in the first Raimi movie. Like the final fight, there's no music up until the Ben Parker moment, and then it's like big blaring soundtrack, and it's fucking awesome. It's great. And I think the use of that makes that fight so much more brutal and like Evil Dead feeling, and I love that fight.
What was the exact question?
Spider-Man soundtrack with the emotional impact.
With an emotional impact, I think it might be somewhat topical, I guess. From the little bit of it's Far From Home. No, is the music that is playing beyond the music that's playing while Rosemary Harris is giving Peter that talk in Spider-Man 2.
The packing. I wrote that entire script listening to that song. That's great.
I think there's something about that.
It's
specific,
the melancholy that's just right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like a joke answer, I think could be fuck, what is it called? Oh no, I'm fucking it up.
And
oh no.
I will always love
Give me a second. I
you.
have it. It's Jet. Hold on by Jet, which plays when Peter is like getting ready to go to Aunt May's. Not Aunt May's. Mary
play.
Jane's.
That's what that song is. That's not in the
Oh.
soundtrack, so I never found the.
Yeah, no, it's a great song.
It's a fun song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
That scene's really good too. I like.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
That's one of those scenes that's like, if you cut that out, that is a short film. Right
Oh,
there.
100%.
On its own thing,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like it would be like kind of easily done by like people like Corridor Digital. They could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that scene with him in the backyard.
Great.
I was also
Whatever
gonna say,
that's
even
called.
in Homecoming, the scene where Peter turns down the Iron Spider suits, which, God fucking, I'm thinking about it again. God, but that scene has like a good background soundtrack to it that I didn't realize until I edited with it, which was kind of cool.
I need to revisit it.
But
We'll do a commentary or something.
yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yep. All right, Troy, give me another question. You pick one.
Mr. Person 95 says, "Do you plan on Scooby doing this crap, or do you plan on Flintstonesing this shit?"
Scott would want us to answer one or the others, but Flintstoning this shit sounds fun.
Flintstoning
More
sounds
fun.
very sexual.
Yeah, that's right.
On the Scooby Doo thing though, the dialogue in that trailer was so fucking weird.
That was the
Mid.
worst comedy
was
in any
like-
trailer.
Yeah.
And then I made this tweet about this, but like everybody was like comparing the Doc Ock name joke to this one in Spider-Man 2, being like, they did it in Spider-Man 2, so it's fine. Like Spider-Man 2's sense of humor is so far more mature and like drier and like ages so much better. Like the Spider-Man 2 one is like, the guy's last name is Octavius and he got 8 arms. Cool. Fuck, isn't that fucking hilarious? Just like the irony of it. But like the one in the trailer, and again it's a trailer, so like we don't know the context, but it really is just like, you're so stupid, so dumb.
It's too long.
Well, like,
when that scene played, I was like, are they just putting this scene in to pad the runtime of the trailer?
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
Well, do you want to know what the big problem with that is? And it's the same problem that's in every one of these fucking movies, is that they're just afraid of the source material. It's like, just shut up. Yes, Doc Ock, that's his name.
Yeah,
just be like,
Peter
whoa,
has interacted
good.
with people with weirder names. Doctor Strange is a main character in this movie. I mean, his
Yeah.
actual name is Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just his name.
yeah.
Venom.
And like and actually
What does that mean?
with in Infinity War, they did the joke with the Doctor Strange name, and it was way funnier. It
Oh
was like,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
using
yeah.
our made-up
We're using our
names. I
made
like
up
that.
names.
It's like that was because it's like
Mads Mikkelsen's best moment.
because
in,
it's
that
like
entire
it's
fucking
it wasn't him like bullying Doctor Strange. It was a sense of like he's a little kid. And like Karen said, I don't really love young Spider-Man, but it was like a sense of like, okay, it's still earnest, and he's still like, okay, oh,
It was
yeah.
cute.
Yeah, it was a cute
was a-
little
it was a
moment.
cute
It's like,
moment.
It is also
fit
kind
the
of
character.
funny. I love Infinity War. It's still my favorite MCU movie just because it's so well crafted, I think. Or at least I believe. But you can tell so easily the scenes that are reshot there.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like
Oh,
he's like
especially in
the
that
neighborhood
scene.
one. The neighborhood one where
it's
he's
awful.
like when he's like there's not going to be a neighborhood.
You can't be a friendly neighborhood
there's no
Spider-Man
neighbor-
if there's no neighborhood.
And
yeah.
then you instantly go. He's got the whipped back hair, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah,
Oh, that
and
didn't
I'm
make
like,
any sense.
okay.
And it's such a bad reshoot, and it just undercuts that scene so bad. It's
But like,
rough.
why does it not make sense? I don't understand why it,
It
doesn't
makes perfect
make sense.
sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Perfect. It's a joke that I would make in a YouTube video because I have really low self-esteem and just want to throw in a joke there. But it's a YouTube video, not a fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know? It was such a strange choice.
It was a Doctor
very
Strange
much-
choice.
Doctor Strange choice. Hey, there you go. And that scene is filled with like humor in general, you know? There's plenty of other Marvel quips.
You ever heard of this movie Aliens? All right, shut the fuck up, Peter, please.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad joke. I'm tired of him making movie references, which we're gonna. That's a bingo card thing to put on there. Is fucking
I already
70s
recorded
movie
the video. I can't make another bingo
right.
card.
Fine,
Jesus Christ,
okay.
Mithy wants me. He
Just
wants
add
me to
another
record,
one.
record
Bingo.
for another hour.
Remove one of them. That's obvious, you know.
Yeah, true.
Like Iron Man. But yeah. All right. I'm gonna pick another one. This is an interesting question. Favorite foreign film / anime / show / piece of media.
Oh, that's ironic.
Ooh,
I was just
wait,
talking
wait.
about weeb shit.
Can
Yeah.
I go first? Actually,
Yes, go first.
So I wouldn't really classify this as my favorite, but it's just something that I watched last night with one of my really good friends. We watched The Outsiders, which it was the first time we revisited that since like yeah. It's the first time we revisited that since like middle school or whatever, when you're like forced to read it, and we didn't remember that movie at all, but it was really good. Like bunch of hot people. Bunch of hot people and a weird movie. Not a bad time.
That's fun. That's just what the Batman's gonna be.
Yeah, really. It's just hot people and a good movie and a good weird movie. But and then afterwards, he was like, it's kind of like this movie but different, and it's a crazy movie. And I was like, what? And he was like, City of God. Have you guys ever heard of City of God?
I have not.
No, I have not.
So it's like this movie from 2002, 2003 about, and it's this foreign film. It's in Portuguese, I believe, Portuguese. I don't exactly know where it's set, but apparently it's based on a true story. And it's just crazy what goes on. It's like this like crime sort of drama with kids and like growing up in like the 60s and 70s, and like it's like in the favelas. I think it's in Rio maybe, and like it's like the favelas, and like it's just extreme corruption and all this. Like I don't know what to tell you because I don't want to spoil it, because I think the less you know, the better. But it's this very engaging, kind of long, like 2.5 hour movie, and like it's absolutely insane. My doors were blown off because I wasn't expecting anything from this, and it was one of like it stuck with me. And I'm gonna have to revisit that. But City of God, I recommend it. It's on HBO Max, I believe. Really an interesting film. Yeah,
it makes it easier.
I think now that you mention, I think I have heard of it, and I think I've heard just people recommend it. I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's very good. It's not, again, not like, I don't know if I'd classify it as my favorite, but it's something that's fresh and it's really good.
I already talked a little bit about Death Note, which that's a normie thing. I don't know. I'm not like, I can't think of anything that's like obscure and shit. Death Note again. I really like Death Note. I really like One Punch Man. I like animes and shit. I watched Parasite for the first time like about 6 months ago, and like that movie is like, it's one of those things where it's like you expect it to be Oscar like because it's like movies that win Best Picture are a certain type of movie, and they're not always good. Like Green Book, it's like you expect it to be a certain way. And it's just like, and it's like, okay, it's like, I don't expect to like this. I watched Parasite and it's like, I'm in love with that movie. Everything that movie does, from what it has to say, from how it says it, from the use of the characters, from fucking every aspect of it. It's like probably my favorite movie I've seen in a really long fucking time. Like it just stands out so much, and just like, you can't stop thinking about it. It has this perfect, like, unsettling horror aspect, but also like this very poignant commentary that just works so fucking well. I fucking love Parasite. It's great. And like, I know that's not a hot take because everybody loves Parasite, but like, I don't know, I'm finally on the hype train again,
No, but I feel like, what's interesting is that I feel like most foreign movies like are kind of better viewed not knowing what they're going to be about, because I didn't know what Parasite was going to be about at all.
Me neither.
And I was like, whoa, because I'm just taking on this ride because, one, there's the language barrier, but two, their way of thinking is just so like apart from ours in some ways, like just the way that things are culturally. And so you're just, if you go in not really knowing, like, I think it just like you are just blown away every single time.
I think also there's a part of like, storytelling is a part of culture, and so it's like different cultures are going to have different ways of telling stories, and it's a very interesting. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I'll say so. Talking about foreign films for a second, if you live in the U.S. / usually somewhere on the Western Hemisphere and a good amount of places in Europe, if you go to YouTube and search up UAE movies, so many Indian films are publicly distributed on there. So many of them. And it's like, it's insane how many Indian films are distributed. And they usually have subtitles built in. Some of them are a little bit wonky, but most of them are in there. And for the course, especially working in Coda and stuff, I just didn't have time a lot of the time to watch like a bunch of Indian movies. But like over the course of the past, I want to say like 2 weeks or so, I've been getting back into like watching a movie like a night, like and watching like an Indian movie, and I've forgotten like a lot of Southern Indian movies are movies that are like 3 hours long, and they're fast paced, and they jam as much stuff as they can into this like small little runtime, this small scope. And it's like there's such a clear ambition that I'm in love with, even if the execution isn't perfect a lot of the time. I've never seen that kind of intense ambition in anything else but in a lot of the Indian movies. One that comes to mind is Peta, because that's just my favorite right now. I don't know if it's on YouTube somewhere, but that's a movie that just like, it was so fast, it was so just intense, and it's an action movie, it's kind of a masala movie, but like it does everything that I just want like in an Indian movie. And so if you're looking for a foray into that, watch Peta. It's probably, I think it's on Netflix too. But yeah, the Indian masala movies are like, yeah, they're not all of them are highbrow entertainment, but they don't need to be. None of these movies need to be. They know what they're going for, and like they achieve that spectacularly. And like if you've never seen an Indian movie before, and if you're in the right kind of mood and you watch like your first Indian movie, you're gonna be amazed by like what you see. So watch an Indian movie. They're all on YouTube somewhere. Watch The Bucky. That's pretty fun. That's a good movie.
Okay.
But yeah. Or watch Katti. That's what I'll say. Watch Katti. That's a good movie if you want to understand what it's kind of like in
that?
India. Kaththi. So it's like two Th's. It's good. I'll try to find a link to. It's a very good. I think it was my favorite Indian movie before I watched Peta, and it was like a lot of Indian movies also try to do this thing where it's like very direct societal commentary. And Katti is very much a movie that's like, it's an action movie, it's a masala movie, but they take their time in the middle to be like, the biggest problem right now in southern India is like farmers are committing suicide like every single other fucking day. It's like intense, like how much that lot of agriculture in southern India is being screwed over. And it's just because water is so like scarce, when you get to that close to the equator. And so in so many big corporations are just screwing them over. And there's all of this talk all the time of like so many fucking soda companies and everything are just coming in because it's so much cheaper to just establish themselves there instead of another place. And like the movie does genuine commentary on that. The story is based on that. And yeah, it's a heightened reality of like this one guy who can solve the entire problem but I mean, that's what superhero movies are. That's what superhero Yeah, they just don't have superpowers. Instead, they have the power of being able to punch a guy out of fucking existence, and it's fun to watch. But over time, I have really appreciated Indian movies for being so set in the reality of a world that I barely ever visit once every couple of years, but also being completely apart from the reality and like being like a fun just watch with a family. So watch an Indian movie; they're good.
Okay.
That was my long rant.
Oh, cool.
But yeah,
I'm interested.
We love it. Fuck yeah, we love different perspectives.
Yeah.
Also, go watch Spider-Man: No Way Home in theaters.
Spider-Man: No Way Home. Oh my god, Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Talk about different perspectives. That has perspectives from all over the multiverse.
All over the multiverse of a bunch of different white guys named Peter Parker.
Yep.
Miles Morales? No, thank you.
No, thank you. Spider-Gwen? No
only
fucking
Peter
way.
Parker.
Miguel O'Hara? Fuck that. No, just
Miguel
Peter.
O'Hara. Yep.
We need Ben Reilly. That's different, right? A blonde white guy.
Blonde white
Let's
guy.
make him blonde.
My favorite thing, I saw this clip from the 90s animated Spider-Man from when they did Spider-Verse. It's like Peter's surrounded by all these fucking weird ass Spider-Men of like one has fucking 6 arms and one's fucking wearing like armor and is a billionaire and there's Ben Reilly there and he takes off his mask and he's blonde and Peter goes, I don't even want to know your story. As if that's the weirdest shit he's seen today. It's so fucking funny.
Tarantula arms? Nah, fam. I don't want to be blonde.
This is a good one. Spider-Wit hyphen says favorite redesign for a character.
Ooh.
Like any character or like Spider-Man?
This is on my when I tweeted.
Yes.
Any character, I guess any character, yeah.
Mm.
I would My gut is always going to Rebirth stuff because I think Rebirth, what DC did was like, fuck. Just because that's the one I started reading comics like legit, like weekly by weekly. But like the Rebirth Green Arrow design from, it wasn't a huge redesign or anything, but like no, just kidding. I take it back. No, obviously Rebirth stuff's great. Rebirth Green Arrow was really cool. The Neil Adams redesign for Green Arrow, fucking iconic of the goatee and the turtleneck and the vest, like that is literally the definitive look for Green Arrow. Like everybody likes the hood and stuff, and the hood is fine. The hood is whatever. I get it. It's more modern and stuff, but the Neil Adams Green Arrow is literally like the most definitive way to draw that character. And like the redesign happened along with the shift in how they were writing him with Denny O'Neil. Like it was just this perfect mishmash of like, oh shit, they figured out this character perfectly in like the span of a month. It's really, I fucking love it. I fucking love that design. It's great. It's the best.
I don't know how much of a redesign is, but the addition of the goggles on Wally and Young Justice are just so,
it's fun.
Love the goggles. I really love the goggles. It's just a cool design. That's a basic one though. I do like the Spider-Man PS4 design a lot. It grows on me a lot more as time goes on.
Really, my only issue with that is the red. I just hate the orangey red.
Yeah, that's
and I wish I saw somebody did this like fan art thing of they took the base of the classic suit, with just like the way the belt is and the boots and the arms and stuff, but then they put the white on there for like the white spider and the white bits on the boots and the white bits on the gloves, and that is like perfect to me.
I do like the thigh red patches. I do really like that.
I'm okay. I'm not huge on those, but it's not the biggest. It's not the most important thing to me.
Yeah,
but I love the white spider. White spider's great.
Is the Ben Reilly's like 90s like hoodie? Yeah. Is that like
counts.
A redesign?
Sure, yeah, why not?
That counts.
He's a guy named Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think that's it. Personally, I just adore that suit. I know it's ridiculous, so cool. But I love it. I know, like I think a close second would be there's like this like part of like the Denny O'Neil question run where he just has a baseball cap and like he's got like a bomber jacket on, and I think that's just kind of rad. Like that's it's not cool. Just like the 40s detective. I don't know, there's something about cool. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know, there's something about that I like a lot.
Does the Baton suit count with the collar? I don't know.
I like that. Maybe. Yeah, I like it. I fuck with it.
Yeah,
I think the collar is kind of my least favorite part about that suit.
Really?
Like it's cool. I get it, but it's like it's not my go-to. If they're gonna do a collar, I would like it to be like big. But it's just
like
that's
a
just
camp collar, like something like real
like fucking like Gotham by Gaslight, written by
Dracula,
known piece of shit,
like Zombie Hunter Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah, fucking. There was actually just a question about Marvel Zombies actually.
Oh really?
Find it.
What is it? Find it.
I haven't seen it.
I'm hurrying. No, sorry about the show, the new one. Fuck, where is it? Fuck. Oh god, where the fuck is it? Oh yeah. Waffles for Lunch says, with the new Marvel Zombie show being announced, would you rather it be an actual adaptation of the comics or try something completely different? Different. Yeah.
Different.
I mainly just wanted to talk about this because I just want to stress
deceased.
Nobody deceased. Also deceased. Just beat
deceased.
You can't beat deceased.
Just do deceased.
Well, they tried to. They tried to in What If, and they did it far worse.
Oh, did they really?
The plot of the What If episode, beat for beat, is the exact same as Deceased. They just don't have.
No.
In 30 minutes, it's rough. But nobody's talking about this with that show. Robert Kirkman is not involved in it, and he didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
At all. So they're clearly fucking him over too, and that just rubs me the wrong way so much. And I don't see anybody mentioning it, and they will obviously when the show comes closer. But it's
I think Robert Kirkman also hasn't talked about it. That's also why that not.
No, he tweeted about it. He tweeted.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
okay.
he when it got announced, he quote tweeted and was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I didn't know this was happening." Which is like
that's fucked up.
Yeah. How do you not talk to literally not just the Marvel zombie guy, but he's the zombie guy. He is the guy that made the comics that literally is the zombies. That's the whole thing. I guess they're not zombies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they got him for the zombie reason.
Yeah.
Because he did The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead comics are fucking great. It's
They're
like
really good.
they're super
Really
good,
good.
100 times better than the show has ever been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, the show's never even come close to
No,
it.
even
It's
season
just
1
not
when
even
it was
comparable.
good, like didn't come close
Yeah.
to those comics. Yeah, I mainly just read that question because it just frustrates me so fucking much that you know. But that show could be cool. I don't know. I obviously ideally they would be paying him and shit, and whatever. But I don't. Yeah, no, I don't want them to perfectly adapt it. Like I think Invincible is good because it's not a perfect adaptation. If Invincible is a perfect adaptation, I don't think it'd be nearly as successful as it is.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah. Invincible
here's
in the
the-
comic is structured weirdly too. I don't think it like I needed that change. And
There are certain
suited
scenes
change
that
well.
if they adapted, which they're going to adapt Invincible because they're very important scenes. If they word for word do some of those debates and those arguments the same in the show, it's going to be the most ham-fisted, really awkward way of handling topics that I've ever seen, and it's going to be really weird. And
Well,
Invincible's very dated in the way it handles its subjects. That's all I'll say.
well,
And I
that's
love
the
it still. I
thing
love that
about
comic. It's super good, but it's an old ass book basically.
like that's the thing about adaptations is like if you're gonna do them,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of not a huge fan, but if you're gonna do them, you have the benefit of hindsight,
Yeah.
and you have the benefit of I don't think that you can really judge media for being being how it was when it released. I mean, there's
Yeah.
levels to that, but I think that you have that benefit of going, well, this is kind of a better way of handling this, or we could say it like this, or we could do something like this, or we could just completely forego this. I think there's benefits of like handling stuff better, and I think that that's when you see in bad adaptations when they've just completely gone, hey, this is how it was, so this is what we're gonna do. And I mean, I like the Zack Snyder Watchmen movie, but I think that we could have I don't know.
There's stuff about the
We
Watchmen
could have
movie that I'm
strayed.
like, that's fucked. Like I won't get into it. But like my point of view with adaptations is like if like the Killing Joke one. There's a bunch of reasons why the
So
Killing
bad.
Joke fucking sucks. But even disregarding that first part, the Batgirl stuff, which is stupid, the part that's actually directly adapting the book, that's not good either. Because it forgoes everything that makes the book special. The Killing Joke is like not a perfect story, but I do love it. I think Alan Moore is like probably the most talented writer who's ever written comics ever in his life, except maybe like
It's kind of crazy because he would never do a Batman book now. So it's like
No, I know.
One
But like
gem,
Alan Moore,
you know?
like I always judge like comic writers based on like how their stories could be. Like if somebody like I know not everybody loves Tom King. But Tom King writes books that can only be told in comics, which like I think that's super impressive, and I think not enough people give him credit for that. And I feel that's what I could Alan Moore's the same way. But the Killing Joke movie just like fucking just decided to just beat for beat try to adapt it, but it forgot everything that make comics what comics are, and it forgot like how to, So a direct adaptations, you're right. You have to adjust it for the medium. You have to adjust it for everything. There's a whole video there, but
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
But
Do it.
Do you want to do one last question, or do you want to pick it?
Yeah, sure. We have 2 minutes left, so we should speed around it.
Yes,
But
do it.
um,
I'm trying to find a funny one. I'm trying to find a very, very funny one. But they were all asking serious questions.
yeah, these are big
Come on,
ones.
ask us jokes.
We
I
need
wanna
more
hear
jokey
jokes.
Spider-Man. We need more jokey questions.
Yeah.
Spider-Man doesn't quip enough. You guys
Spider-Man
aren't
doesn't
quipping
quip
enough.
That's why the Raimi movies
Oh.
aren't good, because he doesn't quip enough.
He
Someone
doesn't
asked
make
about-
He
enough
quips
jokes.
plenty in those fucking movies. He quips plenty.
Yeah.
It's so
Someone asked
weird.
about-
That's such a
You're the
stupid
one
thing.
who's out, Gabi. Out
Yeah,
of your
they're
mind. That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
They're
That's
hilarious
hilarious.
We need to bring back quips, and some of the TV spots have Doc Ock saying like a couple of funny lines, where he's like, "Oh, we got competition" or whatever the fuck, with like the tentacle arms, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a good line, that's a cool line, but yeah, I guess we'll do. We got a lot of questions. We can answer some of these questions next time
Yeah.
too. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll look at these. But
But
yeah, since we have a minute left, so we should probably
Yes.
wrap it up. Unless you guys have
Yes.
anything else you want to talk about.
No, I'm
thank you
good.
for 10 episodes.
Yeah, 10
Everyone's been
episodes, that's
watching.
cool. Hell yeah.
Everyone's been
Congrats, you
supporting it really
two.
well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been really
Congrats.
cool to see it. So
It's been very fun.
thank
This
you
was just a
for
fun
giving
little
me a
side project.
platform,
It's been
Troy,
very fun.
to get out my clout tweeting.
Of course. That's the whole point.
And here's to 10 more, I guess.
Yeah,
Cheers,
10 more.
everyone.
Here's to only
You can't
10
see
more.
my
At
fucking
20 we stop.
empty glass. But At 20 we stop. Yeah. At 20 we get canceled.
Yeah,
Because I clout tweeted too much.
exactly. But thank you for joining us on episode 10 of Fanboy Talk. This has been Troy by 17. We've got Spider-Man videos coming soon. Just you wait. It's been joined by Mithi. Mithi, you got anything coming up soon?
Yeah, I'm working a short film that's coming out very soon. Expect
yeah.
a trailer probably within the next few days, and I anticipate release before November.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then Brian McDermott, you working on anything? Just,
Yeah, no. There's a It's a Wonderful Life video coming out this December.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Love to see it. So proud of you.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
But thank you, everybody. And we will see you around.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
Yeah.
Woo!